Hello, Nick family. Welcome to Dope Soul Sports Talk, a member of the NBK Network. Today, we just kicking it, or as I like to say, nicking it. We're talking about Grimes, whether or not he's the shooting guard, our shooting guard of the future. Not just starting next season. Is he the shooting guard of the future? We'll talk about that. And then some news just dropped that Utah is taking offers, or at least listening to offers from Donovan Mitchell. We'll talk about that today as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so you'll be notified anytime I go live or drop a video. I'm joined by Stafford Don. I am Jarrell, resident panelist, and the bowling chick. She'll be able to introduce herself and let you know what you should call her. All right. How's everybody doing?
I'm blessed. Can't complain, man. It's always a pleasure to be on the dopest show on YouTube. Right?
Appreciate
So
that.
shout out to Jarrell. Shout out to the bowling chick. Welcome. You're gonna be it's gonna be intense, so get ready. Get ready.
Especially
get ready.
She's an RJ fan, so when we start talking about them offers for Donovan Mitchell, his name might come up.
Right. Salute to the bowling chick. You know how we do here, Queen, on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
9:00. You know, we're gonna have fun. Salute to everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm new. Hopefully not new forever. But new to the family. Officially nice to meet you guys. I'm the bowling chick. I also go by it's changed a few times, but the Petty Alchemist and formerly known as Star J Fanatic. I got a Star J poster back here. You can't really see it too well, but he the future, you know, unless Donovan Mitchell comes on the team. With them, then he'll be the present. So it is what it is. But nice to meet everybody and excited to be here. Officially, salute.
All right. Let's get to it. Now I'm a little torn about whether we should lead with the topic or this late breaking news. So I'm gonna take a poll from the chat and the panel. What do we think? What should we lead with?
I don't know. I think it's going to be weird talking about Grimes being the future two guard if we're going to talk about another two guard coming in here.
Is he a two guard though? We'll talk. Well, actually, we got Brunson, so
right, he's going to play the two.
But we may not get him though. That's kind of speculation. But what? So you want to lead with Donovan Stafford? Who you want to lead with?
You know what? I'm open. So I'm open to any topics. I'm ready.
All right, the bowling chick.
I think we should lead with Donovan, and then when we get to the part where we don't believe we're going to get him, then we can go ahead and start talking about Grimes.
All right. So we'll lead with that. We'll talk about that for a little bit, and then we will go back to oh man, what did I do? All right, and then we will go back to. Well, actually, let me put both of them there. So whoever comes, they'll know that we will be getting to Grimes as well. This is what happens in live, when you go live. News break, you got to cover it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
This came out of nowhere, so I'm still massively confused. Alan Hahn's been boasting on Twitter and Facebook, and I called this. I'm like, you didn't call anything that no one else thought may happen. It's just your timing was right.
Right. Exactly.
It was either now or the trade deadline. That's why I thought it was going to happen since Utah is hosting the All-Star game. So I thought they were going to want to have somebody homegrown in there, but maybe not.
Maybe not. All right, Stafford, we're going to talk with you. We're going to start with you. Number one, are you on board with a trade for Donovan Mitchell? And what are you? Well, let's just start with that before we start talking about what it would cause. Are you on board with a trade for Donovan Mitchell? And that's for the chat as well. Shout out to Harlem Girl, JJ, Geraldine McIver, Pudge Nice. Appreciate you for joining us.
Boy, this is tough. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm on board, yes, but it all depends on what we offer.
Okay.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
Fair enough.
Because I don't want to give up the future, and we don't have nothing to put around Donovan. So if it's something like a Rudy Gobert, something like that, similar to that, where they got mostly picks and probably one or two role players, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say to that about giving up the future, if Donovan comes here, the future is now. So
Right.
you're gonna need to surround him because you don't want you don't want to waste his years waiting for these guys to come along. You're gonna have to, in my opinion, bring in maybe one or two other guys that's NBA ready now, and still have some young players on the roster that is contributing. Because
Exactly.
if you're asking, some of our young guys to contribute on that level, like to be a number 3 or be a number 4, that's a bit much. Like you think about Philly, Maxey played very well because Maxey, they had Embiid, they got Harden, they got Tobias Harris. The pressure is not on him. If he shows up, that's great for him. If he doesn't, it's okay. They can still win. That's a nice role to have your young players in. But to have them in the Harding role or, even a Tobias Harris role, I don't know if our young guys are, are ready for that. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm selling them short. Maybe they are. But Jarrell, and then I'll come to you about whether you're open. Is it something you would want to do?
I'm definitely open, but I think it depends on how much faith I have in the front office for the roster construction after the fact. Just like you said. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all for having Donovan, but it's just a couple pieces that I would not want to give up for him. Mainly RJ.
Okay.
I don't want to give up RJ for Donovan Mitchell. I would like to see them paired. Like if Mitchell's going to play the 2, I want RJ playing the 3 for us, and we'll have to worry about what else we gave up after the fact. So I guess it just depends on the faith for the front office. I don't know how much faith I have in them when it comes to that because they have yet to have to do that yet to fill a roster like that around a star like that. And plus, Brunson's going to be in the backcourt too. So this team is definitely going to be ready to win if this happens.
Right. And you bring up a very good point because a lot of Knicks fans will point to that Carmelo trade. But to me, what I point to is
What they did
the
after.
front office
That's right.
failure after the trade
Right.
to construct a winning team around him. And, we can go right back to, not deciding not to wait for Chris Paul. I mean, who knows whether he would have came or not, and signing Chandler instead. And then also amnestying, who did they amnesty?
Noah.
Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups, I think
Yeah,
they,
Chauncey Billups, yeah.
when they could have saved that for Amari broken down knees, so
Hmm. Hmm.
it remains to
Hmm.
be seen. It remains to be seen because you're going to have to, with 2 smallish guards, you're going to really have to be strategic in terms of what you put around them. It can work, right? Lowry and Van Vliet weren't very tall, but look who they had around them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right, the bowling chick, what's your thoughts on, are you open to trading for Donovan Mitchell?
I'm definitely open for it. It would be great to have another hometown favorite or hometown hero other than Obi on the team who would actually get starters minutes. So there's that. I don't want RJ included in the trade, but I am realistic and realize that may happen. It'll break my heart, but I'm down for that as long as we're not sending in too many picks. What I was thinking earlier about the fact that we won't literally send a first round pick every single year makes me rest at ease on it. Obviously, we made those trades in the draft and shortly right after the draft to get some more, draft equity. I mean, that's what that was for. We all knew we were going to go after a superstar.
Right.
We all should have come to terms that some of our young core would be traded.
Right.
I mean, I'll speak for myself. I love Quickly. It would hurt for Quickly to go. I've loved watching his growth so far.
Right.
But if it results in Donovan Mitchell, I'm taking him. But it does depend on the package. I know some people are afraid to trade with them just due to, Danny Ainge being such an awesome general manager. But I think his hands are tied a little bit of what he can get. How many teams can actually trade with him or trade what we can trade other than Miami? To me, it sounds like it's just us two. So I think we can actually do a little bit better than everyone else is thinking. So to answer your question in a really roundabout way, yes, I'm on board. And it still depends on what we give up, but I'm willing to give up quite a bit.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm okay with it. I'm willing to give up quite a bit as well. You cannot win in this league without a star. Either you're going to grow one, or you're going to trade for one, or you're going to draft one, But I don't see, to me, RJ has the most potential to be that on this team. And I don't see RJ as, I see RJ as a Jimmy Butler type star. All around top player, with Butler maybe being the ceiling, somebody like Wiggins being, the floor, that they could just do. And you need those type of guys on a championship team. Do not get me wrong.
Right.
You need those type of guys. Donovan Mitchell, I don't think has peaked. A lot of people will point to, oh, he didn't play that well. They forget, how he played in the playoffs before that. But because he didn't perform in his last playoff, now he's not a good playoff performer. And also, I don't think he's a finished product as well. So we get an opportunity to get him. Yeah, I would definitely go for it. It wouldn't be unless they ask for something. Shout out to my sis, DeJuan Bailey. I thought I saw in here. I'm like, yes, appreciate you. Unless they're outrageous. We want 8 first-round picks. We want like 5 players. Like something that's just real stupid.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But is it unreasonable for a team like Utah who wants to trade Donovan Mitchell? Is it unreasonable for them to ask for RJ Barrett? Is that an unreasonable request?
No, they should ask for RJ.
No.
It's just up to us if we want to give it to him, but they should ask for RJ.
Exactly. That's the first thing Danny's going to say, and we should say no. I think we should say no. I think we could do a better package without him. I'll trade majority of our youth before we trade RJ. We need a 1B to stay with him unless somehow we're keeping Randall. But Randall's got to go to make the salaries match, right?
If
in a sense, he could go too.
But this is the thing: they traded Rudy Gobert. If they trade Donovan Mitchell, that would signal that they're gonna go young. If you're going young, do you want Julius Randle, on your team? I'm not sure.
They can get a third team involved.
They can get a third team.
That's true. My counter argument to that would be, though, Utah is in the boonies and no one wants to go there, right?
Yes.
So if they're going to rebuild, Randall can't fix it by himself. I mean, we had Randall on there, the year before. Well, before he had his good year.
Right.
We were quite terrible, right?
Right.
So I feel like that wouldn't intimidate Utah, and then they would have someone decent to go with whatever rookie they get. But I get your logic. I just think that they have to have somebody good out of this trade, even if it's someone a little bit older.
Right. But if I was them, and I am not, I've never worked in the front office, I would go for Fournier because, he only has 1 year left on that deal. You taking in Randall, his extension kicks in this year. The first year is this upcoming season.
Just started, yep.
Fournier, if Fournier and whoever you're going to have to put together, to match the salaries, he's going to come off your cap in a year, So, listen, this is the next question. This is the next question. Do you believe enough in Donovan Mitchell and the front office? Because let's not fool ourselves in thinking that Donovan Mitchell by himself is going to make us championship contenders. He's not. Right. The Knicks front office is going to have to do some more work.
For sure.
But are you confident enough in Donovan Mitchell and the front office, right, that you would allow RJ Barrett to hold up the trade? Like, would you, yeah, basically.
It's a good
Would
question.
if they said, look, the rest of what you want to give us is fine. RJ Barrett, if you want Donovan Mitchell, we're gonna give you our best player, but you're gonna try to hold on to yours. Would that hold up the trade for you? And I will and this is to the chat as well. Would you not trade for Donovan Mitchell if they say RJ Barrett must be in the package?
Wow.
Tough. These are the tough questions the front office has to ponder, right? We the front office right here.
Right.
I will have to have a lot of faith in RJ, man. That's a lot of faith in him. If it's me,
to not trade for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's me, I'm not putting RJ in the deal.
So you do have a lot of faith that he's going to. Do you think he's going to be better than Donovan Mitchell?
He can be because he's a two-way player. I don't think of Donovan Mitchell as a two-way player.
I don't see. I see RJ as a two-way player in the sense that his willingness to defend.
I get
that. But he still needs to get better because that lateral quickness for him is just not there. So I'm not sure if he would ever be a star defender.
Right.
But he is a willing defender.
And plus, I'm not 100% like have faith in Donovan Mitchell as being a number one on a championship team either. So
there you go.
Like if I don't have complete faith in that, then no, I wouldn't make the deal if RJ has to be in it.
Okay. Fair enough. Staffer?
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to roll with Jarrell on this one, man.
Staffer agree with me?
Yeah,
oh my
man.
God, my man.
I don't think that would definitely hold up the trade if they want RJ, because I'm giving you a whole lot of picks. Then I'm giving you probably Fournier, Cam, and just to probably sweeten it.
You're gonna have to sweeten it a lot. I'll give you Sims. I'll give you Sims because they need a big man.
But he a third string center though, bro.
If it was the other way around and you had Donovan Mitchell,
right,
and
you got taking those Sims.
You're gonna take Cam, Fournier, and Sims. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You try to give them ham sandwiches. That's what.
Yeah.
Nah,
give me a Philly cheesesteak. I got a bologna and cheese.
But Queen, you just said Fournier's on his last year's contract, right?
So that would be cap relief,
right? Then,
but what players?
Then Cam, we need to sign Cam. You understand this year? You understand? So that's another set of money that we not gonna have to sign, right? And 6 million. We crying about 6 million.
What 6 million?
2 years. Was it 3 years? 6 million.
No. We're not crying about the salary. We're crying about the talent in return.
Yeah, well, we gonna have to give up something young.
No. I'm saying that's not enough.
More than that.
That's not enough.
No,
that's
not
enough.
Hell no.
How many? But I'm saying though,
Sims is our third string center.
Yeah, they're not taking that.
You don't think the word is around the league on Cam? Yeah, they think he's talented. But there's questions about whether or not that he will ever maximize his talent. That's out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Danny Ainge been fleecing people for many
I don't
years.
think this would be a fleece. You saying it's time for him to come out on the short end? Okay.
It's his turn. His turn is now. That's what I'm talking about. I agree with that. That's, yeah, I like that.
Let me shout out the chat. Let me shout out the chat. We're gonna come to you. Still Nick fans, appreciate you, my brother Ron. Not even close, Stafford Don. Not even close. Bro. Yo, he's bugging. Oh my God. Appreciate you.
Sims and some picks is nasty.
C-Mac, appreciate you. Stafford giving Utah the Trinidadian ham sandwich platter with that
Yo, whatever, C-Mac.
Oh, God. And Mudge Knight said 4 picks is enough. 4 picks by itself?
Nah,
I mean,
I don't think that's enough, bro.
I mean,
because
salary's got to go.
Some salaries gonna have to. And the good thing about Donovan Mitchell, though, is we're gonna have him for what, another 3 years or something like that. Yeah. And his contract, he will be making less money than RJ if we were to give RJ the max. He would be making less money.
Wow.
Than RJ, because he signed his, contract. I mean, what, a year or so ago.
Yeah.
All right, the bowling chick, I'm gonna let you go, and then I'll go. Would that hold up a trade for you if you were in the front office?
Thank you for reminding me of the question, because I was still laughing. Okay, as RJ's probably not number 1 fan, but like number 3 fan, I would trade RJ, even though it will break my heart, to do so, because realistically speaking, we need a closer. RJ, I don't think RJ's ever going to be a closer. He wants to be. And I also agree with the fact that you said he's a willing defender, even to the point where I'll just say he's not a defensive liability.
Right.
So he's like, he's zero.
Borderline.
He's not a defender.
Right.
He's right in the middle.
That's a good point. Right.
So that being said, though, that means I'm not offering as much if RJ goes in that trade.
Right. Absolutely.
So the thing about it, though, is I'm not sure financially. I think RJ makes like 9 or 10 right now before an extension would go.
Right.
So if we were to do that, I mean, I'm trying to really think of a trade.
You gotta Fournier would have to go in. That's like 18 million right there.
Yeah.
And so
I
think
Reddish, because Reddish is cap relief because he's an expiring contract.
Right.
And if they don't want to keep him. Right. So
was Fournier.
I don't know how much. Are you sure? Because I thought he was 1 more year after everybody else.
He is. Oh. So it wouldn't be. It would be 1 more year.
Yeah.
Got you. So 2024.
Right.
No, 2020. Yeah, I was right the first time. 2024, you'd be up for free agency.
Right.
So that said, that's RJ, Reddish. That's 2 of my favorite players on the team.
Fournier.
Okay. Those 2. Right. And Fournier, sure. If that's the end, then maybe 3 first round.
I was about to say you're gonna have to put some picks in there.
It's got to be in there.
Right.
Danny Ainge would laugh at us, but if we do that and 3 first rounders, okay. But that's the most. In other words, we're keeping. I don't know if I want Randall and Obi on the team again another year, but that's a whole nother discussion. So I'm already thinking of the future of what it would be like, but I think I would do that. 3 first rounders in addition to that package I mentioned if RJ goes. But if it's RJ, I'm not giving them all our youth in addition to that and picks. You can't have all of
that. Yes, Stephen. Stephen O. This is my channel. Please subscribe, hit that notification button. We're here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. nicking it. So listen, my first preference, same with Jarrell and Stafford, and I'm sure the bowling chick, my first preference would be to have Donovan Mitchell and RJ Barrett.
Right.
That's my first choice. However, I'm not going to allow RJ Barrett to stop this trade. I'm just not. Now, Donovan Mitchell is not a great defender, but he has defensive tools. A lot of it is effort. So if you're with a coach who's going to hold you accountable, I would think it's going to be better. That being said, him and Brunson would have to play defense like they on fire. Because
Mm,
when you think about Lowry and Van Vliet, it worked there. But again, they had Kawhi
Right.
and they defended. What they gave up in height and wingspan, they made up with toughness and craftiness and getting under you, and you really felt their defensive presence.
right.
Um, that's what we would need. Now, that would be a lot on Donovan because you're asking him to shoulder a load offensively and be that type of, defender. You know, that's a lot. I just feel like I don't see a path forward if we do. Well, listen, another All-Star can become available at some other time. You never know when someone comes available. But this is what the Knicks, you think about all of the moves the Knicks didn't make. And some of the
Yep.
moves that they did make, you're like, what are you doing? This has been their
Mm,
plan, in my opinion, all along.
Yeah.
Stay flexible,
I agree.
collect assets. When a star becomes available, be able to put together a package that's going to make it work. And I think the question is Donovan the star? I think when they came into office, there was rumblings about Cat, he resigned. There was
Right.
rumblings about Devin Booker, he resigned.
Yeah.
I don't know if the front office was ever high on Zion, but when McCollum came and they went to the playoffs, that got Zion excited about staying in New Orleans. That was the end of that. you know,
Right. Right. Right.
that
Right.
was the end of that.
The
So
homeboy signed the Supermax.
Right.
right. That was the end of that. So here we are. Um, that would be a very, very tough decision, but it would be a decision I would make because I don't see RJ being that closer that we need. Um, yeah. And when you look at all the playoff teams, they either have a star or a budding star
Right.
on their team. You need that guy that even though the other team is keying in on them in the waning moments of the game, they're gonna deliver anyway. And I've seen Donovan Mitchell do it time and time again. And I've seen him do it this past season against us, at the Garden, where he hit like 2-3 shots. So, I'm for it. If we keep RJ, you could say goodbye. Maybe we could keep Grimes or something like. If you keep RJ, you might as well say goodbye to
Yeah, that's true.
a good number of our young players, and I'm okay with that too.
Mhm. They can go.
Yeah,
Love
if we
them.
keep RJ, I'm okay. Trading who you want. What I've been hearing, and you guys can see. Let me know if you've heard this as well. Is that a lot of the front office is not very high on the Knicks young players, and so that may be what makes them put their foot down that it has to be RJ because they may not be as high on our other young players. Any thoughts on that?
Um.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you can cut in. Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I mean, I know they said that around like the All-Star break, right?
Mhm.
I would hope at least the way we finished the season out, the way IQ stepped his game up, Obi showed out. Yes, it was like the last, I don't know, like 20-ish games of the season that all that started. But I think it went from very negative for a little while to maybe a little bit more positive. And the fact that Grimes has played so well in Summer League,
Mhm.
albeit
Oh,
it's
he
Summer
might be
League.
gone if we don't give up RJ.
Uh, yeah, we can't. It is what it is. But I think I think those players might have possibly changed their minds a little bit. But I know that Deuce McBride hasn't changed anybody's mind. But the other players I mentioned, maybe.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But I agree
Right.
with you though. RJ is going to be where they start. I mean, what GM no GM would be stupid enough not to ask. You have to ask.
yeah.
Right.
You have to now, and this is where if our core was a little different, like say we were sitting on OKC's young players
Mm.
and they asked for Chet, no, thank you.
No,
You
that's
know,
different.
Right.
so and I think that's the difference between our young core and some of the other young cores out there, they have higher upsides.
Right.
And so, you want Cade Cunningham? Nah, I don't think so. I really think he's going to be a star. When I look at our roster, I see very good players, very good rotational players that may out of the blue become a star, right? Who am I to say they will never be? I'm just saying when I project, I don't see that in the players that we have. So it's going to be interesting what package. But what I like about the front office is they said a few weeks ago, not even that long ago, we're not giving up that type of package for a player like Mitchell. And I think, Tony Crowe, shout out to my partner, co-host Tony Crowe. He said that could have been the Knicks posturing, sending that message to Utah. Don't even ask. We ain't giving up that type of package that you got from Minnesota. You could forget it. Even though, other than the draft picks, those players were really role players.
Yeah, true. It was really for the draft picks.
And I think the difference between other people's teams, like Detroit was a really good example that you used.
Mm-hmm.
They were lottery picks and they were top 5. Our young core has one real lottery pick. I don't count Obi as a lottery pick because he was the tail end, and then he's not even starting on this team. So I get that.
Right.
Even Orlando has, in some people's minds, might have a better core than we do, even though they were not good.
Right.
I mean, some people might think Paolo Banchero is better than RJ is. Some people might think that.
Right. Banchero? Yeah. Well, I
think
so.
Most people probably think that.
That's me being a whole.
He's not even playing in the summer league.
Most people would think that. Yeah.
Right. Pete P. I appreciate you for rocking with us. I ain't trading RJ and first rounders for Mitchell. He ain't getting you close to a chip by himself. Nobody is.
Yeah, nobody is though.
Nobody by themselves is going to get you a chip. You could bring Durant here by himself. He not getting it done by himself. Not a championship.
Not just one person.
Not by himself.
Out the first round with other people.
Right. So
no.
How I'm seeing it is at some point, whether it's early now or whether it's late, if you want to get a championship, at some point you're going to need a star player.
Facts.
You're going to need a star player. And star players grow and they take their lumps. How many times was Paul George in the playoffs getting his lumps, not performing before he finally broke through? So this idea that, the first few times we seen him, he didn't get to a championship. Players have to grow. You have to go through it. Competing on that level, I think we underestimate what it takes. To compete on a championship level. You got to take your bumps and your bruises.
Yep.
Know what it takes. Come back the next season. Try it again. Try to level up. Same thing with Embiid. He didn't just go the first time they were a championship team and ball out. There's levels to it. So that's going to be the same thing with Donovan. You get better the more you go to the playoffs, the more you in those situations. That's how you get better. So the expectation to just look at somebody right now and say, oh, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that. I would say. Any other? Yes, RJ definitely can grow with the Knicks. I just don't think he's going to grow into a star. But I know there are many Knicks fans that disagree with that, and that's totally fine.
I'm telling you, RJ is like the golden child. Can't say no wrong about that kid, man. Trust me, they'll come for you.
I understand.
He's our first super high lottery pick in a long time. Right. I think that's why we're so protective of him. And he's actually someone who's doing it the right way, puts in that effort, is a good kid. We haven't had anybody like that in a long time.
We had a lot of nice kids. They just weren't. We had a lot of nice kids that worked
just
hard.
Pan out.
Frank Ntilikina was a nice guy. He worked hard too.
The Clay Anthony Earlys.
Not Clay Anthony Earlys. I thought I heard wrong at first.
Right. The Jerry and Grants.
Salute
I
the
had hope for
quiet
his.
money. I appreciate you.
Salute.
Stephanie, salute. And we talked about this. I told you that RJ leaves a lot to be desired. The front office let everyone what their direction is. They let you know that they would go after a star. Yeah, everything has been lining up. Because when I looked at this past draft, I said, wait, hold up. Miami went to the Eastern Conference final. They added talent in the draft. Dallas went to the Western Conference final. They added talent in the draft. All of these teams is adding talent.
Right.
The Knicks traded it away. I get it because they wanted to open up cap space because Brunson was their guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying if you really committed to going young, you draft AJ Griffin and you make that same trade for Doran and you don't re-sign Mitch. The fact that they didn't go in that direction tells me they are not committed to a youth movement. They are just committed to gathering assets, letting the players grow and develop, and taking that stab when they get that opportunity. So everybody is saying, oh, it's the youth movement. They are not. Because there's certain things they would have done if they were committed to this youth movement.
Right.
I don't think that they are. They're committed to gathering assets, not being too hasty, letting things play out, even if that means rocking with this young core for a little while longer. But when they get that opportunity, trust me, they're going to trade them for a star.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely it. I mean, they believe, and I think it's true. I think we all believe the stigma of you can't rebuild in New York because New Yorkers would have a heart attack if they had to watch another year where we win like 15 games. We already had it happen a few years ago. There's no way we're gonna let it happen again. I don't see it. So they brought Leon Rose as a result of that, right? Like right after that year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not.
And this is what I will say. Salute to Jared D. MacGyver, always in the rooms, always supporting. Appreciate you. Steph, I agree with you. They're still trying to win now. Now, this is the thing for me. I don't have a problem with you trying to win now if you're still keeping a long window. Like there's a difference between trying to win now, trading for LeBron and Dame Lillard, and trying to win now and trading for somebody like Donovan Mitchell, who's young and proven and still has a long window. To me, that's two different things.
Right.
I think any front office is going to try to upgrade their talent if they have the opportunity. So I don't see trading for Donovan Mitchell as a quick fix because he's young and you're still going to have to build around him. I see that very different than say they trade for LeBron, Carmelo, Dame Lillard when your window is like this,
It was the same reason they drafted. Well, not drafted. It's the same reason they signed Brunson.
Yeah.
Right.
They're around the same age.
Right. Correct. Right. Exactly. So they're trying to. The Knicks are trying to put together a championship contender. Bottom line, it's going to take them some years to do it. I don't get the sense that they are sold on protecting this core of players the way OKC might be sold on protecting their core players, the way Detroit might be sold on protecting their core players and letting them grow. That's not what I'm getting from this front office.
Right.
Not at all. And OKC's been rebuilding for like 15 years. Maybe not quite that, but they've been like since Westbrook left. I mean,
the Westbrook and the Durant. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
but I feel like we've been rebuilding for 25. I mean,
I can't beat that. That's true.
Other than the year before last when we went to the playoffs, what have we been doing? People act like, oh, we're looking for the quick fix. No, we've been going through the draft. That Carmelo Anthony thing was 2013.
Right.
Since then, we've been building through the draft. But this is the thing with building through the draft. You have to hit.
Right. We haven't drafted well.
You have to hit.
Boy, Renald Bachman.
It's not where you draft, it's who you draft. We didn't draft well.
We didn't draft well. And that's why Detroit, can fast track, if you will. I think they're going to be pretty good because they drafted well. OKC drafted well. It looks like They may, flame out, but it looks like they drafted well. So it's not just we say, let's do what Memphis did. Let's do what Boston did. Let's do what Golden State. They hit on players, though. Golden State hit on Curry. Memphis hit on Morant. Who was the other one I just said?
What, Detroit?
Memphis.
Boston.
Detroit hit on Cade Cunningham, and Boston hit on Tatum.
Right.
So everybody you can build through the draft if you hit. But this idea of just draft anybody and just develop them and they'll turn into stars, nah.
And all those teams are top 5 picks that you basically just named. So I mean, that's the difference here.
Right.
We weren't bad enough for at least 2 seasons to get 2 really high lottery picks. That's what screwed us. I mean, we made it to the playoffs that year, and it meant a lot to all of us fans. It felt good, right? We were all excited. But if we were actually bad and had a top 5 pick, we might actually be more excited now. We might have actually been able to make the playoffs this year. But it is what it is, right? Revisionist history.
Yeah. But the thing about that is you can't, what was the option? Oh, we winning too much. No. We're going to have to start losing, right? What's the option? These teams that want draft picks or want to build through the draft, that starts with the front office and how they construct the team. OKC got rid of all of their veterans, all young players, to give them a better chance. You try as hard as you can to win. Go out, try to win. How you could try your hardest with that roster? How many wins you're gonna get? Right. The same thing with Orlando and Detroit. Oh, go out, try to win, do your best. How many are you gonna win? Look what San Antonio just did. They traded Murray. You have to do that at the top. You can't have a team of players that can win you games and put it on the coach to sit them on the bench and not play them so you can lose down the stretch. That's not how it's done.
Real.
If you're going to commit to it, you commit to it from the top. The front office has to trade off those players, leave the coach with a decimated roster that can't win. That's how you do it.
And they wouldn't have hired Tibbs in the first place.
Correct.
If that was the plan.
Correct.
That's true.
No way.
No way. If that was the plan, you're not bringing in Tibbs.
Tibbs had a heart attack if that was the plan. What?
And you know what?
You're not doing that.
Right.
No way.
Kyle Williams, appreciate you. Shout out, appreciate you rocking with us. If we had drafted well, Spider would have been here already.
Exactly.
But in all fairness, the Knicks weren't the only one to pass on Donovan Mitchell, right? The Knicks weren't the only one.
No, we just talking about us though. There's other teams that don't draft well either.
Right, and they passed on him
too.
Right. There's other teams out there that don't draft well just like we do.
Right. And when you think about it, coming out of, I think it was Louisville, he was a tweener. Same knock. Is he going to be able to play the 1 or the 2? So teams, because they didn't know what position he can play, he wasn't really a point guard.
That's a lot of revisionist history too. A lot of people don't remember that Donovan Mitchell was not a top 5 prospect when he came out.
He was exactly.
Yeah, was he like
not
7?
viewed as that at all.
Right.
He went
I think he went 9 or 10, one of them.
He went like 11, I think.
11?
11 or 13, maybe. Something like that.
I have to look it up.
Yeah. Shout out to Irvis Sula. I will say this. I will give this question to the panel. Steph, how far would we get with Brunson, Mitchell, RJ, Randall, Mitch, Quick McBride? Listen, if we got Mitchell, we're gonna have to give up. We're gonna have to give up somebody.
We'll be nice.
Clearly, Fizdale made this trade. Fizdale took over the GM spot and made this trade for us to help us out as an apology.
Yeah. I mean, listen, a lot of it would depend on Randall, who slimmed down.
Yeah. You look good.
A lot of how successful the Knicks may or may not be next season is going to there's a lot of wild cards. Put it that way. There's a lot of wild cards for next season. A lot of, what if RJ takes the next step? What if Grimes can really be the starting shooting guard? What if Hartenstein becomes that stretch five we need? What if Mitch finally becomes that consistent, dominant defense? Like, what if Randall returns to four? Like, there's so many what ifs. The difference between the Knicks being 6 or 7 and the Knicks not even being in the not even making the play in again. Depending on how these various factors work out. I don't know, Mag. I think somebody else said that. I think this is what Stafford said, right? No. He's putting in quickly. Stafford didn't put in quickly. Evan, Cam, quickly, 5 draft picks. And think about it. Those picks we picked up, those protected picks, they're not going to want those. Those are going to be ours. They're going to want unprotected picks. And so we will have protected picks those years.
And
they're not going to want those.
I'm thinking
they could have Dallas
in the first place.
They could have Milwaukee.
They're not going to want those. Those are protected picks.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not going to want those.
I think we got those in the first place.
Like every year, so it becomes more likely that some team will be able to get them, but even if we don't keep them,
right. Yes.
So I don't remember the years off the top of my head. I don't know. I would definitely make that trade if they accept it. I like that trade.
Yeah, if they accept it,
but I don't see it.
Steven Mendez, appreciate you. I think we need to rock out with the team we have for this upcoming year. Maybe we make the playoffs with Brunson. Randall looks like he has a chip on his shoulder. So does Cam. Yeah, I mean, another way to become a championship contender is for one of your own players to turn into a star. And let me tell you, when Randall had that season, I was like, oh, we got one. We're going to need another one, though. We're going to need another one.
He showed you the next season.
That clock struck 12. I mean, like I don't know if I was expecting that type of season, but I wasn't expecting this sort of drop off. And I think the real Randall is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Cinderella and a pumpkin in between there.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
You know, Jerry, that's not fair though, because the whole league dropped off too, bro. You know what I mean?
Of shooting.
Yeah. So, pumpkin and
Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams, you are thinking my thoughts.
Right.
Leon Rose was hired for this moment right here.
Right. And to get Brunson too.
You cannot tell me when he made his pitch to Dolan, it wasn't, I got the connections, I got the relationships, we got Worldwide West. Don't worry. If a star becomes available, we're going to be able to bring him in. But we got to have the assets. We got to have the cap space. If we have that and it's down to relationships or whatever, don't worry, in terms of free agents and things of that sort. This is why they was brought in.
Yep.
You don't bring in, I'm pretty sure that's what he sold the owner on, his relationships and things of that sort for this moment right here. Because some of the moves they've made.
Yep.
Say the Knicks, Brunson doesn't, and Brunson is somebody I wanted. Say that doesn't work out. Say they don't get Donovan. Say Duran goes on to be a star. AJ Griffin goes on to be a star. These were picks the Knicks could have made, but they chose not to because they're going the talent acquisition trade for a star route.
Right.
Now, they may have, by the time Duran and AJ Griffin pop, they may already be out of a job. But it sets the franchise back. Like, we could have had them. We could have been we could have been further along. So this front office is under heat for, the decisions they've made and the decisions they haven't made. It's going to be really interesting to see. But Kyle Williams, you hit it on the head. Everybody's talking about how great this front office is. Okay, you got a lot of money in the bank. All right. What are you doing with it?
I think Brunson was coming here all along.
Yep.
Then why are you going to sign Kemba to a 2-year? I guess they figured it would be easy to get off of if they need to.
All their contracts that could be easily,
Just saying. just an insurance policy and just a small gap.
Just
mean,
in
have
case.
to,
you got to think about everybody that they signed last year. They traded so far, except for Evan Fournier.
gone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and if they do trade for Donovan Mitchell, Evan Fournier is probably going in the deal. So that's another deal that they signed that they got rid of.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they're righting their wrongs. I'm happy right now.
Yeah, but we gotta use capital and draft picks and
Right,
stuff to
right.
right
I
the
mean,
wrongs. You know what I mean?
look, that's how the business goes,
I
Steph.
understand. I
You know,
understand.
so
I
it is what
understand.
it is. We here now.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Big V CEO. It might be his first time in the chat. If it is, appreciate you. Welcome.
Salute.
We will have to compete with Miami. Yeah, we're not going to be the only ones who can do a 3-team trade with Brooklyn and Utah and come out of the deal with KD and this is how Pat Riley plays the game.
That can definitely
Oh
happen.
boy,
That's
that
how
little,
Pat Riley plays the game.
And that's why
little
he's Pat
slick
Riley.
Italian guy.
You right, Big V CEO. That's how Pat Riley he played to win.
Nothing else
and
to
he's
stick
not
it to the
afraid.
Knicks.
You know why he's not afraid? Because he feels like we can always if we make a mistake, we just get off of it.
Right.
And with however we do it, and they're not afraid to take chances.
And they don't get the hit in the
definitely
media
possible.
that we do when regardless of what we do.
Say
Miami
that again?
I was just saying that Miami doesn't take that media hit, from the national media that we do regardless of what we do.
Yeah,
Right,
that's true.
right.
Because
we
they've
just
had
tried
some
to get a
success.
15th overall. We signed like a really not even that strong of a deal for Brunson, and everybody thought we were a bunch of idiots. Stephen A. Smith damn near jumping off a cliff. He's so upset. So, that's the other thing. I feel like teams like Miami can literally do no wrong, even when they do make mistakes. Like the Lowry deal so far, right? I know it's just been 1 year. We all thought, oh, okay, that's a pretty good deal they made. Didn't look like they did too well this past year. If we did that last year and we still resulted in missing the playoffs, how much
Lord.
Everybody's talking about how Kimber was a mistake. What about the Lowry deal?
That's exactly
Lowry
exactly
didn't
my
look
point.
Yeah.
And his
but
contract's larger than Brunson's as well, right?
It is.
Yep.
It is. It's a lot easier. No, it's fine. It's a lot easier to take chances when you have a proven track record of winning in Miami.
That is true.
Yeah.
All Riley got to do is just throw his rings on the table as you normally do. Clean, clean.
Like job security.
This is how champions are made.
Man, I'm tired of hearing that crap. He hasn't won since LeBron.
Right. I feel you.
See, my thing is, I'm old enough to know that I can't be too mad at him because we're the reason he over there in the first place.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Any chance he could get to stick it to the Knicks, he gonna do it because Dolan wants to give him a piece of the franchise, and say, all right, I got you.
Yeah. Shout out to Wesley Robinson. We have to swing for the fences because other than Brunson, free agents aren't coming to the Knicks. Miami doesn't have draft capital. See, that's another thing. Some players are just magnets. Like when players are thinking about where they want to sign, they do look at your roster. Right. They do look and be like, who can I win there? Who they got?
Right.
Now I'm not impressed with that. I don't think I want to go there by myself. Listen, even Kawhi didn't even want to go to the Clippers without Paul George.
Right.
He let them know players don't want to be stuck trying to do it all, by themselves. They look and see. Even Brunson, it said that the conversation he had with the Knicks are how are you going to build a contender?
Of course.
How are you going to build a contender? I don't really want to win. Yeah. I'm leaving Dallas. I'm coming here. Yes, all the nostalgia. I grew up in the organization, blase, blase, blah. But he wants to win as well. So the Knicks have to get to it.
And plus, when his godfather is the one making the pitch, I'm pretty sure he agreed with him. You know what I'm saying? He believes in him.
Right.
Like that's family to him.
Right.
So F them picks. That's what it means.
Say that again?
It says so F them picks. That's the answer to the story here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Anything else on that before we move to Grimes, which seems anticlimactic at this?
I I
Poor
prepared
little
for Grimes.
Grimes, man.
Okay.
It seems anticlimactic at this point to even talk about Grimes. But let's. Anything else you want to say about Donovan and the Knicks and the front office? And it's going to take some time to build a championship contender, no doubt about it. Donovan is not going to be able to do it by himself, but you best be sure the other players will be attracted.
Right.
The Knicks will become more attractive if you got Brunson and Donovan Mitchell.
I just want them to do it without RJ.
Okay.
That's it. Get the deal done. Don't have RJ in it. I'm happy.
No matter what they have to give up, if
Anybody
they
else
clear
can
out
go.
the young players, okay.
I don't care. No, yeah.
All right. Okay.
You don't
Stamp on
care.
your forehead. They can go right to Utah. I don't care.
Okay.
What I'll tell you.
What, man? We're not related. I do not care about these dudes, man. I'm
I
talking
hear
about
you, bro. But
I'm
I
too old for
mean,
it.
we just gonna have you just gonna have Donovan. You
No.
talking about just get rid of everybody?
No, we just
No,
gonna have
they
to
could
get
take their
other
pick.
people.
They could take their pick of everybody
Yeah.
else.
They can
They're
take
not
their
gonna
pick.
take everybody, but they could take their pick
Right.
of everybody else.
Mm.
Like, say if they wanted Obi, Grimes, Quickly, and Cam, all of them could go, Stafford. We got to sign other people. All of them can go. Quick.
We got to find other people.
Not Obi. Not Obi.
Obi can go with the
Stafford.
Mormons.
No, I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling.
Straight to Utah.
Just trolling. I'm just trolling.
I love him. Salute to Brooklyn. Obi can go. What are you crazy?
We losing one New Yorker and gaining another one.
Yeah, that's all. We
Right.
trade one Brooklyn and
listen,
from the
Jarrell, I'm right with you. I'm not attached to none of these guys, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
let me drop the link. Pudge Nice says RJ staying. Corey
Okay.
Jones says RJ can go. Y'all tripping. So the chat is split.
Yeah.
the chat is split. Listen, also, if you trade, if you do trade RJ, you don't have to worry about that extension. And you've traded the salary for Mitchell. There might be some cap space. I would have to look at the numbers, because remember, it's not like you're sliding Mitchell's salary into RJ's. You're matching the salary up front.
Right.
And then you're not gonna sign RJ. I think we would be going over the cap to sign RJ anyway. I think we would be going over the cap to sign him anyway. I don't know if we would have.
Right. Just like Mitch.
And Jarrell, I told you Mitch was going to be the first signing. Yeah,
you did say that.
Right.
I wanted to draft.
Say that again. Say that again, Stafford.
No, since Charlie Ward.
Right.
But
not
the first round pick. The first signing, you're right.
That's what I was just about to say, but it didn't matter though.
Right.
Did it?
You're right. We got Mitch back, man.
Yeah.
Look at
I mean,
he's on the same page when it comes to Mitch, man. He could have went too.
Yeah, I'm just hoping, and that was another indication that they were looking to become a playoff team sooner than later, because they could have easily not signed Mitch and drafted Doran. So that was another indication of the direction that the team is going in.
And that's what the direction I thought they were, because I thought they was going to draft Doran and let Mitch walk. And they did the opposite. So they, we know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
And that was my pick too.
Mm-hmm.
Doran was my pick.
Quiet money.
We got Sims. We good.
We got Sims.
Yeah, we got Sims.
Yeah,
RJ,
because I go ahead, Queen. Sorry.
No, Quiet Money just said RJ and Fournier with 4 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps should do it.
See,
yeah.
It does.
Said do it without RJ.
Yeah. but the only thing I'll say, Jarrell, the only thing I'll say is, do you see RJ being a star? Because so if we keep RJ, you still have to go out and get that star player. you're still gonna have to do it.
I guess it depends on what position you're talking now, because you got to
Any
think about it.
position.
It's going to be no, but it can't be any because it's going to have Brunson, Mitchell, and RJ is already going to solidify those
Nah,
three
nah,
spots.
nah. Let me tell you something.
So you
When it
want
comes to
somebody else?
getting a star, the position doesn't matter. You if not Kyrie, let's just say Kyrie was
Okay.
not Kyrie. Let's say Kyrie was the talented Kyrie without all of the baggage.
If Kyrie wasn't Kyrie, okay, I
Right.
got you.
Kyrie, the talented Kyrie without all of the baggage.
Mhm.
And he became available in December. Brunson gotta go. Like
Yeah,
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
true.
Like
That's
I'm
true.
not looking at this team and
That's
saying
true.
this player has to stay. This player has to stay. You know,
That's true.
do we have players that's good enough to say you can't trade that position? No, I'm not gonna trade you for a star because we got Grimes. As much as I like Grimes,
Right. But if we get Mitchell, we don't need Grimes.
right?
Brother, so who we gonna come off the bench? Who's gonna come off the bench?
Well, if he come off the bench for Donovan Mitchell or RJ Barrett or in that combination, he's not gonna get that much burn. Nobody is. Doesn't matter who's coming off the bench.
Bro, we gotta have bench players, man.
We'll
Yeah, I
still
know,
have
but
Rose.
Stop
I'm
trying
talking
to
about
trade everybody, bro.
No, but I'm
Everybody
talking about
can't
they're
go.
gonna play like 10 minutes a game. It's gonna be somebody that you don't, it's not.
Terrell,
They're not gonna
everybody
get the
can't
same
go,
amount of
bro.
minutes. Like Donovan
Right.
Mitchell ain't coming out the game, and so he's gonna play like 30 plus minutes.
And I understand that, but he's not a robot.
Oh, right,
And he's
right.
gonna and you understand. I hear you with your 10 minutes, but you can't trade everybody.
You're right. I cannot trade everybody. You're
You
right.
can't trade everybody, bro.
Corey Jones brought up a good point. Facts queen, and we still gonna have to pay RJ. It's not enough money. If you got RJ making max, near max. If you keep him, you got Donovan Mitchell. I think he makes like 30 million. It's gonna be hard to improve.
Yeah, we ain't gonna have no space at all.
It's gonna be hard to improve this to improve the team with both of them making that. And other teams do it though. Other teams do it. So Philly is doing it with Tobias Harris, Embiid, and Harden.
Right.
So
Mhm.
Then we can sign Melo back.
and then on that type of team you can on that
Yes.
type of team yeah, you definitely can. I dropped the link for anybody who wants to come on and give their take. I don't have phone lines now, but if you want to hop on, you don't even have to do video. You can just do audio if you want, and you want to give your takes on this. Feel free to do so. Let me drop it again. Then we're gonna move on to Grimes, Donovan Mitchell, and made Grimes look like an afterthought
Right.
at
I mean, he is compared to.
Right.
I'm
You have to talk
sorry.
about
He
Summer
is.
I need
League
the
games.
Mets
Summer
fan to
League?
be a Knick. I need the Mets fan to be a Knick. Bring him
You
on.
talk about we were psyched over Summer League games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then from that to Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
I can't get psyched over the Summer League games no more.
Right.
Like it's over.
Right.
Like the Grimes hype is over now.
Right.
Y'all
I
know
want
we're
Donovan
not
Mitchell.
even going to see this trade happen for another 2 months.
That
Yeah.
definitely could be true.
Yeah. Ron, how are you?
What up, Ron?
Oh, you know my name. Hi, long
yeah.
time listener, first time.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this prestigious panel. The staff of Don, the I am Jarrell, the bowling chick,
Who's
and
killing
Queen
it, by the way.
Stephanie.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
She got
I'm
called
just humbled.
prestigious her first time. That's what's up.
Right.
Yeah,
Queen,
she
what-
on
what-
point. She on point.
She's on
Queen,
yeah, I
why
really
you gotta
love
let
guys.
on the Mets fan, huh? Why you gotta bring on the Mets fan?
Yeah, that is kind of
Listen,
true.
man.
I didn't know.
Mets
But
fan.
she did say that on
The Met fan brings some order to this. You talking about giving up Grimes and Farron Hunt for Donovan Mitchell? I'm not messing with you, Stafford.
Stafford won a series of 5 first-round
and
picks.
then he said, okay, fine, we'll throw in Sims.
Yeah, we'll throw in the with so in Sims is
That
crazy.
was funny.
Hey, it's time to fleece Danny Ainge, man.
I don't know if anybody can do it, man. I just
I know,
actually,
Ryan. I know.
Like Stafford said,
did
it's
you
his
guys?
turn.
Yeah, it definitely is. Did you guys see the report? And I don't know if it was true or if that's just Twitter. There was a report that I saw yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think it was yesterday, saying that it was reported that Danny Ainge is not sure if Utah
Yep,
can win with Donovan Mitchell.
I saw
Yeah, I
that.
saw that
So
as the focal point. Yeah, like as the
yeah,
number one.
that's interesting to me because if it's true, I mean it could be true, but one, obviously then Danny Ainge is posturing. He's just trying to drive up the value because he knows he's going to have to come off of Donovan eventually. And
Right.
two, Donovan is probably like, what?
Exactly.
This is my guy talking about me like this? Like,
Right.
I know,
that's not
right?
good.
See, I don't know if I believe it though. This Danny Ainge we talking about.
It's true. It's true. I don't know.
Like Danny Ainge is a savvy GM from way back. I don't see this. Like I don't know if I believe that.
Mm.
Danny Ainge. Anything is possible though. With Danny Ainge though.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, when you look at these championship teams, Mitchell
Yes.
can't do it all by himself. I mean, look at Philly. They got Harden and Embiid. The
Oh yeah.
Clippers got Paul George and Kawhi.
Kawhi.
These teams, you're gonna need more than one person. So
Right.
even with Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks still have to go out and get somebody else.
Yep.
I don't see Mitchell doing it.
I don't know. This is tough, man, because I'm so on the fence. Like I love these young kids and I want to see them grow with the Knicks, but then I'm like, damn, wasn't this the plan all along? Like,
Exactly.
wasn't we
Yep.
expecting this to happen eventually?
Mm-hmm.
So, I
It
don't
was the
know.
point. This was the point.
And this is why, in my opinion, they re-signed Mitch. They went hard after Brunson, giving up assets to shed salary because this is how they're building a team. They don't want a rookie center. We got to secure that point guard position. That's how I'm seeing it. Gotta secure that point. Sorry about that.
I don't know. What would we do without RJ on the Knicks? I feel like RJ is the Knicks. That's what's tough for me. I mean, I guess Donovan could turn into that guy for us.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell will be the Knicks
From
if
day
he's gonna-
one.
He's from
Yeah.
here.
I just need
Yeah.
Knicks fans to be easy on the dude when he comes in and he has his first bad game. We can't boo him.
The same thing with Brunson.
Mm.
If you think Brunson is gonna come in here and turn this around by
Right.
himself, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be disappointed.
You gotta think about
Yeah,
how
he-
fans. You gotta think about how fans think, right? Like Brunson got Frank old number. People gonna be pissed off for that. For Frank. Like if Donovan Mitchell come in, he gonna make Sims change his number. People gonna be pissed because of that too.
Right.
Because
Harlem
Sims
girl,
not keeping
appreciate you.
45.
Right. I don't need to see all of them grow with the Knicks, right? Some homegrown talent. You ain't gotta see every single one.
Yeah, we don't need to see all those flowers grow. No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Even when you vegetable garden, you take some of them
Yeah,
tomatoes to the garden
Right.
and sell
They
them.
call, you
Right.
transplant them to somewhere else, man.
Analogy.
Right.
So besides RJ, who else would you think has more value in also going in the trade?
Oh, it would have to be Randall.
It would have to be Randall.
be
And if
Randall.
they
Who's
want
our best
somebody
player?
young, it would be either Cam or IQ next down. And Cam would be more about, well, I guess IQ would be more about
Potential.
potential as well.
Right.
I think that's the package right there. And I said that at the beginning. Randall plus Reddish, and then maybe a sweetener, depending on what, the cap ramifications. As far as a player, the sweetener could be IQ or I guess Obi. Sorry. Those three. And then a bunch of picks.
Oh,
Right.
So who's gonna be up? Who's gonna be up power forward if you throw away both of them?
Oh, I just realized
Somebody.
my bad. Melo starting.
We gotta bring
Signing
somebody
Melo
in.
and he's starting from day one. It's fine.
Melo. Oh Lord.
I am
Here we
joking.
go.
I am
just like
joking. I am
just
not
like-
serious.
just like Ron was talking about, he saw something on Twitter. I saw something on Twitter saying that Leon Rose is not putting Randall in the deal, regardless. Like he doesn't.
Because
want Randall.
Lord have mercy.
they yeah. Well, let's get Anthony A in for a minute for him to give his take real quick, and then we'll get back to the panel.
Excellent.
Hello, sir.
Bob,
How are you?
as I always want to greet you, the queen is always right. And even if she's wrong, she's logically right. And now she's bringing a princess who's also seems like she's always right too. Welcome.
That's right.
Yes.
Anthony A in the building. Hey, before you go, Anthony A, can I just say this because this always bothers me a little bit? Every time I hear you when you're on Lawrence Tears or anywhere, I could barely hear you. But when you in your car, I hear you perfectly.
Oh man, because normally I'm home in a big, I got a mansion up here in Cali. You know what I'm saying? That's how we roll. The room is too big in Cali. Actually, I'm on my iPad on Lawrence Stairs a lot in the house. So when I'm in the car, it's my iPhone, and it's normally better. But I don't know why you guys keep overlooking one young talent you have that fills a big hole for Utah. Who replaced Gobert?
Yeah, I was
Okay,
going to
so
think about
Punch
that
Nice
too.
and I have been dropping in the chat. Yo, man, Mitch Rob got to go. We got
but you can't trade him until I think December because he just
December?
signed an
Did you sign
extension.
it?
Is that correct?
I think
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
No, he should be tradable. I think Brunson can be traded, but our own side is almost like a sign and trade. Isn't that the deal? Let's check the CBA.
I'm not sure if somebody in the chat is clear on that.
know.
Please let us know. Can Mitch be traded right away if after re-signing him?
That's why I said Sims. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody laughed at me.
I'm not giving up Sims.
Oh my God!
Oh, he said he's not giving up Sims.
He's not giving up Sims.
Wow.
If he can't trade him, I'll do Mitch Rob and Fournier. Salary match right there. They help out the Gobert missing piece. We got iHark and Sims running the center. And then we drop off two unprotected first. And throw them 4 seconds, man, if they want it as well. We don't need seconds.
I love it.
Let's go.
Just going to throw them 3 seconds, huh?
I'll throw them 4 if they want.
Take all the seconds.
Okay.
Take the seconds, exactly.
We don't need them.
Did they announce the signing of Mitch?
They did.
I think so. Yeah, I think they did.
Actually signed it.
Yeah. That today they announced Hartenstein, Brunson, and then later they announced Mitch.
Okay. What was Brunson? 104, 102, 110?
I didn't see the numbers.
I think it was
I didn't see the number
104.
on Twitter either.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's 104.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm dropping in there. I just wanted this draw. I'm dropping there. I want to keep Mitch's name in the loop because I'm not a big Mitch fan. Just let you know. I'm calling Sims Akeem 2.0. No matter what you guys say.
Akeem 2.0.
Give me 2 years from now.
That spin move got y'all crazy.
Wow.
That spin move in that summer league game
like
got
the
people going crazy. That's what's up.
You want to say Hakeem? Hakeem not even big and strong like that. Can't even jump like that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And Sim don't even have the footwork as Hakeem.
He needs the footwork.
Sarge, come on, bro.
The footwork and the shooting, and he will catch him. So
the footwork and the shooling. Somebody said Ben Wallace 2.0 is maybe more like that.
I will probably say more likely of that, Ben Wallace.
All right, Anthony, we appreciate you. We got Win 2 in here.
Here's to the queen and the princess. You're always right. When you're wrong, you're logically right. Peace out.
Appreciate you.
All right, bro.
All right, and there's room for more than one queen. All right, let's
thank you. I'll be the princess. It's fine. It makes me feel younger.
Right. Like when people say, "Ma'am, do you?" I'm like, "Oh, man." I get it.
Every day.
Wins too. Appreciate you. Did you have anything you wanted to say about the Donovan Mitchell potential trade?
Yeah, I guess my worry about the trade is who's that star that you're going to get after you get Mitchell? Because those big time stars aren't leaving the way they used to leave.
Yeah, I mean that's why the front offices get paid the big bucks. You know, you think about Miami. Miami just ran their players out there the best they could, tried to win as many games. Then when Butler became available, they got him. And then the same thing. Do you run that team out to somebody else becomes available that you think, sometimes the point being, sometimes you don't know these things ahead of time.
I guess
that's what I think.
is,
that's what I think he's getting at is like, which one of the superstars will probably come here if we decided to or they decided to.
I say this: get Mitchell first,
and then figure the rest out.
Then figure it out. You gotta do the baby steps first. We gotta get one first, then think about getting the second one. Because we thinking about getting the second one, we kind of, I don't know. We got to get all our energy into getting Mitchell. He can't do it by himself.
I get that, but I just don't know. Like, there's players aren't leaving their teams like they used to. If you're gonna have to get Mitchell in trade, you're gonna have to get another star in a trade, and by then we won't have the assets like we do when we get Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean,
I see his point.
But you can always, if somebody else come, Brunson becomes an asset, depending on who that player is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow. Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna be trading Brunson, they're still gonna want picks if they're trading the star, whatever team's trading the star, and those picks that we have that we give away for Mitchell, they're not gonna. The picks we have left won't be nearly as good as those.
But I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't let that stop me because other teams figure it out. Why can't the Knicks?
Guess, but like there hasn't been like that big star move in free agency, and there's only been star trades, and they've all been big time moves with a bunch of picks moving, or at least another all-star moving.
Well, I guess the best case scenario is that you figure out a way to get Donovan Mitchell and keep RJ Barrett. Because if Julius is not going, then if you get Donovan Mitchell, then you got Brunson, you got RJ, you got Randall. You still got some assets to get rid of to acquire a different type of star to go along with Jalen and Mitchell.
Right.
Right. Say if RJ isn't in the deal this time, maybe he'll be in the deal next time.
Correct. That I'm okay with. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know, it's something I'm not ready to let go yet. But if we got Mitchell and then you tell me, oh, we can go get this person and put him with Mitchell, and then I'm like, okay, fine.
Right.
Okay. I guess, and the other thing I'm worried about is like the defense. A lot of people are saying like we'll be able to outscore them. We'll have to outscore them, but like I'm pretty sure Utah was thinking the same thing. And if you're thinking, I'm looking at the team, I'm thinking like the defense is going to be just as bad as Utah in a playoff scenario. So I'm just really worried about that.
This wouldn't be the team though. Like you wouldn't be adding Mitchell to this team. When you bring Mitchell in, it's up to the front office then to make other moves to because if you're going to go with two small guards, how you construct the rest of that the rest of your roster is going to be super important.
Right.
It's going to be super important. Now, one thing you do is you do have a rim protector and Mitchell Robinson, but there's some other things you're going to have to do.
I think
they had to go bare, but look how that worked out.
I think with the coach that we have too, like I think we're going to play good team defense regardless if we had those two small guards. You got to think about with just last year with Brunson and Luka. Luka doesn't play anybody. Doesn't care how big.
Top 10.
Dallas and they was top 10 in defense. And you have to look at their team. Luka, it didn't matter how big he was. He didn't guard a soul.
True, but they also had like more other stronger defensive players alongside them.
Who?
They had,
the Bullock, the Finleys, yeah.
We'll work it out.
We'll work it out. None of them are like top NBA level.
Oh, they're good role. No, but they're good role players.
Right, like none of them are like all NBA defense.
No.
Okay. I guess I just don't have that kind of faith that you guys do, or like I'm not as optimistic.
I mean, listen, we seen the front office in the Carmelo trade not do what they needed to do after. And that's going to be the same thing with this front office. Even if you do get Donovan Mitchell, there's still work to be done after that acquisition. So the bullseye is going to be on the front office even after this, this transaction, if they're able to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was just gonna say that if you do make a trade like this, where you're trading multiple players for Donovan Mitchell, keep in mind once Donovan Mitchell gets in, now you got like three or well probably three free roster spots that you got to fill now. So you're
Yep.
going to have to put some new and then just think about the Miami Heat. I use them as the best example. Miami Heat had three superstar players, if you want to call them all superstars. Yeah, they were all superstars. Um, and tons of role players, just guys who play defense and might be able to get a basket here and there, but you couldn't rely on those guys for baskets. It had to come down to the stars. So in the Knicks case, you fill out the roster with some of these guys that we know around the league are free agents that play really good defense, or even you trade for one of those guys on a team that doesn't get a lot of burn, but plays really good defense, and you surround the team at different spots with good defenders. That's how you make up for it.
Yeah.
Would you take back Patrick Beverly in that trade? Because Utah got him.
I mean, yeah, I would actually.
Especially if we had to give up quickly in that trade, we would need a backup. I don't know what's going on with Rose, but I think we would need a backup.
Hey, Rose looked like he living his best life.
Mm-hmm. Like if he got traded to Utah, he wouldn't even know. It'll take a couple days.
But I appreciate you, wins too. We got Tweaky, I believe it is, waiting in the wings. Appreciate you hopping on with us.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right, let's get Tweaky in. Tweaky, appreciate you.
So, how's everyone doing?
All right.
I'm doing good. What's your take?
The only way I would do this trade is if you could keep the same four, Mitchell, Randall, RJ, and Brunson, to go with what's his name, with Spider. But you might have to lose both Obi quickly and a whole bunch of first-round picks. But my dream scenario would be to trade Fournier and Rose to match Mitchell's contract. Give them Cam and Grimes as two young players. Because think about it, Utah, if they make this trade, they don't want a Randall because they have nothing. They have just a bunch of G League players. Mm-hmm. Randall doesn't do anything for them. It's just a big contract for 4 years that they have to hold on to. So they're not gonna want a Randall. So if they could if we could give them like 4 or 5 first-round picks, and give them Grimes and what's his name, Reddish, with Fournier and Rose, that would be, you pull that trigger right away. But if they're probably gonna want, instead of instead of Grimes and Cam, they're probably gonna want Obi and quickly, and that makes it tough.
Why?
I still do it.
I'd still do it too, but our bench will be a little weak.
But they're gonna have to. But the bench is not closed. Like, we can't add other players. I mean, the front office would have to go out and get players to fill that spot.
How much money would we have to play with? We don't have much money left.
But if they take IQ and Obi, we have 8 players under the age of 25. You're talking about we only giving up 2 of them.
We're giving up 2 of them, yeah. But those, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would still pull the trigger, but I'm saying I'd rather give them Grimes than Cam. But I think with that team, I think we're a contender in the East, like a top 3 seed.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think. I think because go position by position, we have top players. Like I say, about top 30 players in each position, each starting position. Well, even more like top 20. Randall's a top 20 power forward. Even more than that, Mitch is a top 20 center.
The center, that's just by default because it's just not a lot of centers.
I mean, it's more like top. Some are top 10. Some are top 10. Some are like top 5. Like Mitchell would be a top 5. But I'm just saying, like, no one's worse than a top 15 in that starting lineup at their position.
Yeah. I like what he's saying though, but if we wouldn't be top 3.
I don't think we
understand
would
what I'm
be.
saying, Ron?
I understand what you're saying, but
I
I
see what
don't
you're
think
saying.
RJ is top 15 small forward
Oh,
in the league.
no.
But if
No,
he
not
takes the
yet.
next step, though, but let's see. I mean, I think a lot needs to happen to be top 3. Randall would have to play out of his mind.
Yeah.
RJ would
Right.
have to take the next step. Mitch would have to be not that flash where he have a flash of a double and 2 block. Like that would have to be him every single night,
Consistent.
you know.
RJ would
And
have to be more consistent too.
I think
RJ would have to be more efficient. I mean, a lot would have to happen.
I like that starting 5 though. I think it's a consistent. Everyone's a good player. I think it's a consistent, like you're getting a consistently good team. Like I don't know, like I don't see any much holes in that starting 5.
Well,
And I see that
if
I see some shooting holes though.
yeah,
So-
and if you can get that mix of guys together and they can all buy in and be cohesive in Thibodeau's system with the defense,
Mhm.
maybe you might see them really push it and they can be like a top 5 team, which is what
Yeah.
I think something like that can happen. But you got to still get past Milwaukee, Miami, Chicago.
Yep.
There's some heavy hitters up there.
But I was going to say that starting 5 shouldn't be surprising. Like if we don't, like most of us don't want RJ in the trade, right?
Mhm.
So that's the
Right.
starting 5. Because if everybody thinks they're not
Yeah.
going to want Randall, that's going to be the starting 5 then.
Yeah,
Right.
and I like it. I would hate to see Quickly go, but he's probably gonna have to go with Obi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Boston, guys. No disrespect. I forgot Boston.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
Boston
Definitely,
too.
definitely.
Boston too.
Yeah, if you
Boston.
keep if you keep RJ, hold
And
on to
Randall.
your pocketbook. Everything else is going. Everything else is going after
Yeah.
that. Is liable to go, I should say.
Yeah, they're going to want Obi, Cam, and IQ. And
Yeah.
Grimes. They might
And a lot
want
of-
all 4 of them.
And a lot of picks. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
four,
And four
four
other
first rounds. Yeah.
And I will still do it.
Yeah. Get to keep all your big guns.
I'm with it.
Yep, I'm
You
with it.
just had Mitchell. And then I think that team can compete. Maybe not for a title, but like at least the Eastern Conference title type thing.
We would need more shooting on that team. You
Yeah,
know,
I probably see this team
Bring Melo.
as far as a second round. But
That's
The
when Melo
bench,
comes
the bench would be weak. The bench would definitely be weak. At least this season coming up. But you know,
well, if you said Grimes, you would still have
in. Yeah, that's our whole bench.
he,
I
yeah.
wouldn't give
That's
Yeah.
our whole bench except for Hardesty.
and Sims.
Well, yes, I'm not even counting Sims because he's third string.
And Deuce McBride, right?
And Deuce, yeah.
And yeah, I'm
no,
not counting him either.
well, guess what? We just bring up Farron Hunt
oh,
and Jeffries and all these other guys. Yeah, I mean, look,
Hey, yo.
they need a chance, right? So if you
Hey,
bring them up,
yo, Donovan Mitchell be like, I ain't come in for this. Like he gonna be pissed. But
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
we'll have to reshape the Grimes. I said earlier, like it all
We would
depends
have
on
to.
the face of the front office moving forward, how they roster the construction and all that.
Right.
You have to have faith in that. If you don't have faith in that, then yeah, you're gonna think they're gonna mess up.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't
because
work.
Mitchell enough is not. I'm telling you now,
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Not even with the other 4, you don't think, Steph?
Not to win.
You know what? We got so many question marks. Which Randall is going to be on that team?
Right.
Last
Let's
year's
just say
Randall,
let's just say somewhere in between, like not
somewhere in
last
between.
year, like
Half a
20,
pumpkin,
22 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists,
Not
40
even a
43
rebound. It's
43
this.
Oh.
Which, if we get a two-way Randall who has effort and what have you, I'm not even worrying about him hogging the ball anymore. If you got Brunson and Donovan Mitchell,
He ain't gonna
he
get the
may
ball.
not even be able to dribble it. You just gonna get it in your
Good.
spot,
Right.
and I think he'll be better that way.
Yes.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
he will be. You want to maximize Randall's talent? Take the ball out of his hands.
I agree.
Get to your spot. We got you. We see you, big fella. We gonna get you the ball. A little fella now, if you saw him lately.
Right.
We'll get you the ball.
Right.
That's it. I think he would be better in that because now he's down into like the third best player on the team. That's
Yeah.
his role. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, how
And
about
I think he can still get 20-10. Less
What-
turnovers because there's
Yeah.
less decision making when he gets the ball.
with that starting 5, if we can get, we obviously have to reshape the bench. If we can get some people that can shoot and play D, that's a nice team.
That's a nice team. I like that team.
It is a nice team. When you
The
just look at
shooting
that starting
concerns
five.
me. Just the shooting
Right.
concern. Randall 30%, RJ 36%.
Right.
Mitchell no percent.
Mitch is Mitch.
Um,
I'm about to say Mitch is Mitch. You shouldn't even. Mitch is Mitch. Like he shouldn't even be in that category.
and I think even like we don't have snipers. Like even those who shoot it well, we're talking about 35, 36%.
Yeah.
Right? Even Mitchell, right? I think maybe 36,
But I
35, 36%.
Oh wait, you didn't have Evan Fournier in that trade.
No,
did
no.
you?
You have to send Fournier for the money. Yeah.
Well, come on now. Who we sending? Fournier now?
And Rose.
Cam?
No.
Ro-
My proposal was
Mhm.
Fournier and Rose for the money. Two young players, which is probably IQ and Obi.
Oh, okay.
And
My
And
bad.
4 first-round picks.
Right.
Well, you're still gonna have Grimes then. You
Okay.
still
So
have
we'll still have
Cam.
Grimes. And-
yeah, no, yeah, but
yeah.
Darrell added Grimes.
Yeah, I added those. I took off basically Rose and Fournier and just added 2 young people. If they just want all 4 young players, that's all.
Okay.
Right. And the
So
Knicks.
we'll still have Rose, Fournier on the bench.
Right. I mean, I think you do have to have some young players on your roster, but I don't think the Knicks is good with that type of team. I don't think you need 5 young players on the
Hold
team.
on, though. Now that I think about it, though, now with his proposal, but that's starting 5, and we still have Rose and Fournier on the bench. We'll still have Rose, Fournier.
No, you gotta get rid of Fournier. 'Cause
Grimes.
the money.
No, but we could. Oh, yeah,
'Cause the
money.
money.
Yeah, we have to.
You could probably hold on to Rose.
Right.
Well,
He
here's
might have
the
to get
other
rid of
thing.
Rose too. He made 14.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that's a little funky that I don't know where Utah stands on this.
Mhm.
How bad does Utah want to be this coming year? Because
Bad.
that's important to know. Because remember, the
Right.
All-Star game is in Utah,
Right.
Mm.
so
Right.
we don't know. Do they want to have some representatives
but
and
it's
be a
in
decent
Utah,
team this
Rob.
year? We don't know.
Yeah, but they're trying to trade him, so that tells you where they're going.
It's in Utah, Ron. That gonna be the wackest All-Star game ever.
I
Ain't
can't
nobody
believe
going there.
You might be right.
Yeah, so
But
You gonna-
it's the
but you gonna
All-Star
check
game. They
Karl
bring in their
Malone?
stars there.
right.
Even if Utah don't have a star, we bring in the star. Well, not we. The NBA will bring
We
the
might.
stars there. We might. Right. We might.
We'll have Mitchell.
Let me
Right.
tell you, if we get Donovan, Donovan's going, and that's going to be beautiful.
Oh yeah, he's
Ooh.
definitely going.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Definitely.
you see the
Twinkie, we
resurrection of
appreciate
Karl
you.
Malone.
Thank you. All right, guys.
You're very
Salute.
welcome.
Good question, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Take care, Twinkie.
Take care, bro.
Yeah, that was good.
If we keep
Um,
Grimes, he might be there for the 3-point competition.
Yeah. Let's transition to Grimes. I mean, that is the headliner, so I don't want people to tune into the show and say that I just, use that just to get views.
She
But
clickbaiting Grimes.
right,
Clickbait and Grimes. Clickbait and Grimes to talk about Donovan Mitchell is
right.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, you was hustling
That's the
backwards
best
tonight.
catfish video.
You was hustling backwards.
Oh, but yes, we were. It was originally about Grimes, but because this news came out, we thought we would talk about it. First. So Grimes has been balling out, in summer league. If we don't get Donovan Mitchell, do you see Grimes being the shooting guard of the future? I'm not just focusing on next season. I'm just saying, do you think he's played well enough? And remember, we seen him last year as well in regular season games to be considered the shooting guard of the future, or do you think that, nah, I don't see that in him? Ron, we're gonna start with you.
Oh, good, because I wanted to give you my selfish answer first.
Okay, all right.
To me, the shooting guard of the future is
Mhm.
named RJ Barrett.
You
But
took my answer that fast. That's crazy.
I'm just saying. To me, this is where the Knicks have gone wrong. They have not figured out a way to get RJ back to the 2 yet. And I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying I think they're doing themselves a disservice, and they're doing RJ a disservice because RJ can be so much more dominant at that 2 position on the offensive end. On the defensive end, it probably doesn't make much difference because they'll put RJ on whoever they need to put RJ on. And the problem with Grimes is, I get blasted a lot, and especially the past couple days. Yeah, no, it's like that. No, my son is, I think he's on the phone or something. I'm like, so yeah, I get blasted a lot because at one point I said that down the line, not right now, and I didn't really think that he's as good as him, but I thought Klay Thompson Jr. would be a nickname for Grimes. I thought because of his defensive potential.
That's a good comp.
And because of his ability to shoot the three. Now, granted, when I said this, I didn't realize how inconsistent of a shooter Grimes is.
Yeah,
he might be able to work on that, but right now he's very inconsistent. And if you can't hit it when you need to hit it, then you ain't Klay. So,
right.
Yeah. But my point is, like, Klay he's 6'6". Grimes is 6'4". There's a difference there. So that to me is huge. That's why if Grimes was 6'6", then you could slot him right into that 3 position. Golden. RJ could play the 2. We're fine. But he might be too small. No, Grimes. If he was taller, but he's not.
If he was taller, no, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
No. Yeah.
So that's the problem. So I think because of that, I would say Grimes has to probably be the shooting guard of the future if he's still here with us. And I think he deserves that because I think he'll work on his game and get to the point where he does more on the court to warrant it. More than Fournier will, should I say.
Right. I mean, I don't see RJ as a shooting guard because part of being a shooting guard is being able to shoot. And I just don't see RJ being, at least in the traditional sense of a shooting guard. I know the NBA is changing this, kind of positionless basketball. I see RJ as more of a traditional 3 because he's more of a slasher than a shooter, somebody that can get downhill. And as strong as he is, he played the 3 last year, and I didn't see him having any issues getting to the rim. Finishing was the issue. And defensively, in terms, he doesn't come across to me as somebody with good lateral quickness. So I think he may fare better defensively against 3s than 2s. But that's just my opinion. I think he's 6'7" too. He's not 6'6". He's 6'7". I see him as a small forward. But for Grimes, one of the things I've seen in Summer League was, him putting the ball on the floor, that mid-range game. That mid-range. So he's turning into more of a 3-level scorer. And I mean, I think during the season, his percentage will be higher because his volume will be lower. He's not going to be chucking up 11 3-pointers per game. So I think he'll be better. But I just see somebody, when you think about a shooting guard that can shoot, and I agree, Ron, he has to get more consistent. But I think he shot well. Other than the first half of that first game, I think his percentages have been pretty good. I'll have to check it. But somebody that can shoot and can defend and can put the ball on the floor for the mid range. Now, his vision is there in terms of playmaking, but the execution hasn't been there all the time. Turning the ball over, not really. He see it, but the pass is just not on point, leading to turnovers. So I think he'll get better in that regard. And again, he doesn't have to start. Like if they don't trade Fournier, he can wait his turn and play behind Fournier and start the next season. But I just see that he can be a shooting guard on the Knicks. I think he could be a really good starter for the Knicks in the future. Stafford, Jarrell.
Before you move on, Steph, I just wanted to. Sorry, Steph. I just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who the real RJ is though.
Right.
Okay.
Because RJ shot poorly from 3 last year, but the year before that he shot 41%, which is an astronomical number.
Right. So, but so did Randall. And everybody's saying that was, it was. empty gym. But when it comes to RJ, but RJ shot 41. It's the same empty gym. Same
Good point. Good point. Well, we'll see. That's why this year is important. Go ahead,
I'm about to
Stafford.
say,
My bad,
I'm
bro.
about to say you
This
can
is
you,
important.
you can argue that you don't know Randall either.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah, yeah.
just stop.
Absolutely.
Just
I'm
trying to
just
pick
saying.
on my dog.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, um, you know what, Steph? I'm with you, man. Let him wait until his turn. After Fournier leave, I think that's when it's going to be his time to shine. Right now, let him get a little more seasoning. Let him get work on his playmaking again. My favorite uh, play that he did in summer league was he drove to the hole and then I don't know he looked in the back and he seen Mitch and he flipped it over his back and Sims caught it and dunked it. So that's one of my best plays of Grimes this summer league.
Mhm.
Um, he definitely can defend. Um, I agree with both of y'all. He's very inconsistent when it comes to shooting, but knowing Tom, he gonna tell him shoot, shoot, shoot. So
Mhm.
eventually he's gonna get better in it, and then after the 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 schemes that I see the offense is running is predicated on him shooting threes, and he's gonna get a lot of those opportunities. So he definitely has to capitalize on them when it comes to him, because when they run that Spanish pick and roll, it could either be a roller, a pop out, or swing over to the corners to the three, where he'll be at. So he's definitely going to get his opportunities to shoot those threes. So I said, let him cook right now. Let him stay in. I'm gonna say, let him stay on the grill, right? Let him jerk a little more. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let his seasoning soak in him a little bit more. You know what I mean? So yeah, let him jerk some more. You know what I mean? And next season we're gonna take him out and he's gonna be good. He's gonna be ready because Fournier gonna be gone and he's gonna see more of the NBA and more defense and he'll be able to figure it out. So I definitely say he can be a starter for the Knicks.
Okay. Jarrell and then the bowling chick.
I kind of agree with Ron when it comes to RJ and the two because I think his shooting is going to improve. But like when it comes to Grimes, um, I don't know. I think we should just chill on trying to make him the starter so fast.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't say it had to be next season.
no, I'm not just talking about you. I'm just talking
Oh,
about in general. Like a
oh,
lot of
okay.
Knicks fans want him to just take over Evan Fournier's spot,
Gotcha.
like right now, and that's not going to happen. Like he's
Right.
not better. He's not a better basketball player than Evan Fournier right now. Especially not on. He's not a better shooter than Evan Fournier. Period. Especially not right now. He have to,
Right.
get a couple seasons under his belt. But Tibbs isn't going to play Grimes over Fournier. He might play him in spots because he's a better defender, but he'll still have less minutes than Fournier. If the whole Mitchell thing doesn't come in. So when it comes to the
Yeah.
future, though, after Fournier, if we don't get rid of, I mean, if we get rid of Fournier, don't bring in anybody else to come to the two. If they want to stick RJ at the three, then yeah, I can see him being a starter.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if Fournier is on the roster and Tibbs decides to start Grimes, he's still not going to play more minutes
Yeah,
than
he's not gonna play
Fournier
more
if
minutes,
he's
right?
still on. If Fournier is still on this roster, I
Right.
just don't see him playing more minutes than
Right.
Fournier.
I think it would be strictly because of defense and matchups or something like that if he starts over him, but he won't play more. I
He
agree.
won't play more.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he does some things better than Fournier in terms of defense. And I think he'll be more. It's hard to say he's as good a shooter because it's really about results.
Right. Like
It's not
Fournier is a
about the
better shooter than
stroke.
me.
Because IQ got a good stroke and he didn't shoot that well from three either.
Right.
But potentially he can. But I think where Fournier makes up for it it's just that experience and that and that savvy. So Yeah. And this team doesn't have a lot of shooters. So I know this is off topic a little bit. People wanting to, move off of Fournier. Who's
Right.
shooting on this team?
Exactly.
We just don't have any shooters unless preseason, like summer league, we get to see the young guys and what they're working on. Preseason, we'll get to see what the vets have been working on.
Right.
And maybe, we'll see better shooting. But for right now, I just don't see a lot of shooting on the Knicks. Yeah. The bowling chick, your thoughts on Grimes?
Well, personally,
At some point.
No, I definitely think he can be the two guard of the future for us. I did kind of see your point earlier, Ron, in regards to he kind of like RJ's physical advantage when he's at the two more so. So I kind of agree with that as well. But ultimately, I definitely want Grimes to start sooner rather than later. I know that everybody else is pretty happy with what Fournier's shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still think Grimes can eventually do that. I mean, Grimes' numbers weren't really that bad when I looked at his splits last year. He just had a bad April, and he had a bad April because that not decapitated, but when he his kneecap,
right,
when he had that patella injury, and I think he came back too soon. Anyone that was kind of watching him was seeing. I won't say he was dragging his leg behind him, but
right,
didn't look too good. His lateral quickness didn't even look the same. I was worried about him honestly then. That said, I think that his numbers would have ended much better. Summer league, he's been shooting pretty well. You guys already kind of hit a lot of the points, so I'm really
that's cool. That's cool.
Going to be regurgitating the same things you guys just said, but I've been very impressed with his playmaking. There's been some turnovers, like you said, his execution hasn't been perfect, but you see that the effort is there, and you see that he has the ability to do that. So I feel like with him training with Penny Hardaway, seeing he's putting that work in, I want it to be definitely be a competition come preseason, and I feel like Fournier isn't going to be bent out of shape if he doesn't start. I just don't see that. I know he's paid more and all that, and I don't know how his contract's written up. Does he get more money based on whether he starts more? Blah blah blah. I also don't mind Fournier starting either. I'm not completely opposed to it. To me, I just want to make sure that Grimes is closing games because we're going to need that defense as well. And it's not and we all know that he can shoot. He is a shooter. He's a 3-and-D guy. So I don't think that we're losing so much shooting when he's on the floor.
Somebody brought up a good point. Just because you play RJ at the 2 doesn't mean that 2s are going to guard him because he's so strong. They may put, they may switch it as well, depending on who we have playing that other position. Because we do the same thing as well. We switch.
Well, when I say I want RJ at the 2, that is predicated in us getting a 3 that is better than even him, like a star at the 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we could do that, I'm okay with RJ playing the 2.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want just some random 3. I want a star at the 3. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we get
I should have said
that's actually why some people are clamoring. Now, I know it's not the best 3-point shooting lineup, but some people are clamoring for Brunson, RJ, Reddish, Randall, and Mitch as the starters.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again. Yeah, say that again.
Brunson,
RJ
and Cam.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't just put Cam in there just because he's long. That's the problem I'm having.
You know what? I gotta tell you. Let me not say it. I swear, man. Steph be bringing out my worst feelings about Cam.
I don't want to hear.
At this point, I'm ready for Cam to just get in the starting lineup and do what he got to do, man. It's too much of this potential stuff. I just want to see him go.
Right. If he comes into training camp and he's who we think he is, he should be able to beat out Fournier.
Exactly.
Facts.
And Grimes.
And Grimes.
That's true.
Grimes shouldn't even be on his radar if we just going by Cam's talent.
Correct.
Facts.
And the fact that they are is letting us know that at some point you got to cash in on potential.
Right. And this is the year to do it too. He ain't got no choice.
I bet you he's motivated. He knows his money.
I would hope.
It's contract year too. So how much can you trust that though?
He better be motivated. You see what they say right when it's contract year, they just turn into a beast. So
Well, I think
let's
he's
see,
gonna
let's
ball
see
out.
what happens.
I think he's
Yeah,
gonna
I
ball
think
out.
he's
It's
gonna
all about
ball out too. The
injuries. He
bowling
can't
chick.
control that. That's not his fault.
You
Yeah.
let him ball out. That's great. I hope he and RJ balls out, and they decide to keep RJ, and they can move Cam and get some assets for him. And let somebody else pay him.
You want him to
Right.
play
Wow.
hard just so we
Because
can
this is
move
the
him?
thing.
You
You
dirty.
talk when somebody like Cam, if they ball out, that makes it tough. Is he scratching his ceiling, or is it a contract year? Like it's gonna be that's gonna be tough to figure out.
But that's one of those problems we would like to have, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Precisely. I
Yeah,
picked that.
no doubt about it.
Right.
I agree.
That's all.
Shout out to Kevin Middleton bringing the humor. Line all the players up in the gym, sit them on the baseline, and tell Danny Ainge to pick 5. Take them out on U-Haul trucks back to Utah. We got to compete. Stop all this losing 9 to 12 mediocre picks.
Oh, man.
Okay, Kevin Middleton
I love
bringing the
it.
Yeah,
heat.
he's
mean,
done.
He
He's
bringing
like,
the
listen,
heat.
let's
Line 'em
change it
up.
up now.
I'll drive the U-Haul truck.
Right.
I'm ready.
Can't argue with that.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I told you, I don't want RJ in the deal, right? But if he is in the deal, I would not be on here next week crying. Like, it is what it is, and we'll just have to move on.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about Mitch. They signed him.
You,
You just move on. It is
See,
what it is.
you'll be
you
like
said that about a
Snoopy.
signing?
You'll be like Snoopy with your towel and your rags, walking everywhere crying.
Yo,
Yeah,
saying
right.
saying it is what it is with a signing is crazy.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We got him for another 4 years.
Yeah. Now, what if the Knicks? Savvy. Yeah. Let me drop the link for you. What if what if RJ was in the trade and we were able to get OG Anobi from
So
Toronto?
wait,
in a three-way trade?
Three-team trade?
wait. So
Three-team
Mitchell and OG?
trade?
Yeah.
Steph, you already know the answer to that.
I don't know. He's pretty good.
If we get
I like
Mitchell
that
and
cat.
OG, so we got the 2 and the 3 solidified for the next few years. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
That's different.
Yo, defense?
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's a completely
But
different
I'm just a
conversation.
little tad concerned with OG durability because he was
Yeah,
out
Yeah.
yeah.
But
a couple
listen,
more
listen.
than a few games.
You know what we're underrating? I didn't even notice. I had to take a picture
I'm excited.
of Cam's games. I thought I was looking at Brunson. 2019, 2020, 58 games. 2020, 2021. Oh wait, am I reading it?
He does get hurt a lot.
26 games. 2021, 22. 34 games with Atlanta, 14 games with
He gets hurt.
we
Steph,
don't talk about that. We don't enough.
That's what I've been saying,
that's
Steph.
Brunson.
He don't play. I said it before. He don't play.
That's Brunson. No, we don't want Brunson. We don't want. Oh, we gotta sign Cam. We can't let him go. 58, 26, and 49 games. Wow.
Oh, you talking about what he scored?
I meant to bring up this too. Do you know who his agent is?
Who's that?
Cam.
Please don't tell me it's Leon Rose's son.
No, Clutch.
Nah, it's the other one.
Clutch.
Oh, so
Clutch.
he out of here.
He one of the enemies.
Yeah.
We probably got him just for that.
I'll tell you one thing.
I didn't know that until the other day.
If they do trade for Donovan Mitchell and RJ's in that trade, Cam better be in that trade. You
Both of them?
can't ship RJ off of, and this is supposed to be
That
RJ's
is
team,
crazy,
and leave
yeah.
Cam here. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a bad
wild.
look. To be honest, that's a bad look. That's a bad look.
Somebody said Grimes ain't beating 48 out. Oh, not according to his contract. Okay.
For one,
OG not. He might not be, but if you get Mitchell and OG, you know that kind of makes up for it.
I think a lot of people don't like Evan Fournier, especially because of the contract that he signed. He don't make that much money, yo.
It's not that bad though.
He only made $18 million. That's not like he's not killing it at the bank,
Nah.
compared to a lot of two guards in this league. Like,
And he's bad in defense, right? But he wasn't horrible. He got a little better towards the end of the season.
Right.
But
Right.
forget it. From I don't want to do the stats because that's Andy's baby right there. But we all know. I mean, I think if we don't know by now, from January to the end of the season, he led the league in 3-point shots made. So he's very good at one thing.
Right. Right. But you know what? I've seen him have good defensive games. Listen,
Yeah.
you don't have to be just play your position, get to your spots, offer some resistance. You know what I mean? So I have seen him have, decent defensive games. You just need to string them together. They
Steph,
can't
he was
be
fair
here
and
and
Hunt
there.
one game.
Right.
He had like 4 or 5 steals one game.
Right. But you gotta do that every night, and that's the problem. And you know what? You gotta be in shape to do that too. And that's the same thing with Randall, who can be a plus defender, but you gotta be willing, and you gotta be in shape.
Well, you seen his face the other day. He in shape.
I didn't even know who that was.
He looked like, what is that? Usher? Like,
Who
is that?
Usher.
He had the slip.
Really?
He looked like a completely different person.
I didn't know who it was either. So let's transition to that before we get out of here. Do you think he's doing that because he was told that in order for him and Obi's going to get more minutes? Tibbs doesn't like, playing without a rim protector. The best way to do that is to play when they do play together, is to play Obi at the 4 and Randall at the 3. Because the way he looked sunk in like that, I'm like, they must have told him that honestly, you're going to play the 3.
Honestly, it would be smart because we all know that Tibbs don't like playing Obi at the 5.
Or Randall.
Either one of them at the 5.
Right.
So one of them will naturally have to play the 3, and we know it ain't gonna be Obi. So
I don't even think it's gonna happen. I think that's just talk. I think Randall just got fit. He just needed more lateral movement. This coaching staff probably told him, the strength coaching staff did tell him lose more pounds so he could be more flexible. His shot will probably be more fluid. He could move more faster than certain power forwards in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I don't necessarily believe all that 3 talk. Now, if it may be so happen, you may see it 1 or 2, 3 minutes in a game, fine. But I don't want to see Mitch, Obi, and Randall forwards out there. Nah, I don't see it because we could switch and Obi could get beat because Obi don't have no type of lateral quickness, no type of side movement. So,
hold on, Staffa. This is what I wanted to say to you, and you're right. No, you're definitely right. I agree with you. But I keep bringing this point up. We see what these guys are doing because the ones we see are the ones playing. We don't know what Obi's working on. Maybe Obi's working on his defense.
Bruh,
maybe that's what he's working on.
Did you see his little beach shorts? His legs look the same way, bro. Change.
That doesn't mean that he hasn't been working on
I know.
But I mean, listen, his working on his footwork wouldn't just help him defensively, it would help him offensively as well.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really
I mean,
to
look, it's to be seen. If we see it in preseason, then after we could say, yeah, it's coming. But for right now, I don't believe Randall playing at the 3. I just don't see it. I just don't see it as a coach that we have with all the switching.
If Richard Jefferson can become a referee after a week, Obi can become a better defender.
After a week.
And Randall can play the 3. I think that's the only path forward for Obi to get more minutes. If you stick him behind Randall, we're still talking 16 minutes.
But I'm saying though, if both of them could give you I'm not saying equal energy, but Why not? Why not have the minutes split in half? If Randall could play a good, it's how much minutes? 40 minutes?
48. I can't see
48.
Randall
40,
playing 24
48?
minutes.
I mean,
If
look,
Randall's our
if
best player, we're not gonna want him to play.
even if you get, let's say 28, and Obi get the rest, I still think that's good enough for him, and
That's not
both of them
happening.
could produce. And I mean, we talking Randall at the 3, so if that could happen, I mean, anything could happen. We just
I
got
don't
to
see them
see. We
bringing him.
just got to see it.
I don't see Tibbs. I don't see any coach bringing somebody like Randall's minutes down to 30. Wow.
For Obi. True.
For
I
Obi.
mean, if coach was saying last season, oh, he regretted, he should have played the kids even more. I mean, I think there's room for him, for Obi to get more minutes.
And I think Randall at the 3 is the path.
Yep, it's not gonna be at the 4.
I'm not. We gonna disagree to agree. Well,
Agree
you know
to
how the
disagree.
saying goes: agree to disagree.
Put
But
it this way.
I'm not feeling that.
But we're not talking about 25 minutes. We're talking about
I know,
how many minutes
and
they
I
play.
get you.
You
I
know,
get you.
5,
3
6
to
minutes.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that. I get you, but I don't know, man.
I
Not
think that's
starting
the
though,
better
right?
option.
Is it a
No,
start
no.
or
I
is
don't
it?
think it's
Oh,
a
okay.
starting. Yeah, I don't think it's starting.
Not
I think,
starting.
yeah, I don't think it's starting.
Sometime in the
I'll
second
take the
second
2
half.
to 3 minute spurts, but
Nah. Oh,
I don't
spurts.
I don't see it as a
What?
permanent thing.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
it's
mean,
that big of a deal. I think you were seeing some
Uh-uh.
of it last year anyway, just
Right.
because of how the Knicks are always switching on defense. He was playing the 3 in certain instances.
I was about to
It's
say.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. You're not going to see it all the time.
And the way Randall plays now, he doesn't play like a power forward anyway.
Exactly.
yeah, but he shoots 30% from 3. That's my concern about him playing a 3 too. I really
Mm-hmm.
hope.
He'll be a bad shooting 3.
I I really hope he's been
That's
working on that
what I'm
3-point
saying.
shot.
That's what I'm saying, man. Look.
I
We
think he'll
got
be
people
better this year.
like what's his name? The kid that played for Charlotte. Every time they
Bridges?
switch on him,
Oh,
Bridges. Every time they switch on him, he get cooked.
We won't have to worry about that this year. That's okay.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't have to.
You gotta worry about other people switching on him.
We know that.
He gonna get switched on. He gonna get switched on. All right.
And I don't even see Randall. Let's see, maybe he didn't lose any power,
I can't.
but as thin as he looked, I don't know about him banging in the post now.
He didn't do it when he
No,
was big.
I think I said this to you last night too, right? It's more of a body fat thing than a muscle thing.
Yeah.
So he could only have like 2% fat, and everything is just chisel muscle. He still got that bang, even though he probably slim, but he's just lean with less body fat.
He seemed lean last season. I mean, he did well, like you said,
He
less.
still looked chiseled to me.
Yeah.
Last year, I think he was a little more heavier.
He was a little heavier.
Yeah, we
last
was
year.
talking about that before. It seemed like RJ, Randall, and Mitch all came in heavier. Like that was a goal from
RJ looked
the
heavier,
front
too.
office or the training staff to get guys a little bigger and bulked up and to enforce their will, because they RJ, Randall both play bully ball type, and then Mitch get him more size so he can really bang with the big centers in the league. But we saw how it worked out. It didn't work out that great. So
Right. All right. Any last words before we get out of here? Anything we didn't talk about really quick? Other than that, any last words?
Now, when's the next summer league game? Tomorrow, right?
Thursday,
No,
I believe.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Are the Knicks still in the running for the championship, or that one loss kind of took them out of it? I know
Apparently, we're
it's top
still
2.
running for it.
Yeah.
We just need to have a couple other teams not be undefeated. I can't remember who else is undefeated, but Orlando lost.
They 2-1. Houston is 2-1. We're 2-1.
It depends on who played tonight. I haven't gotten a chance to see.
And they're holding Banchero out. So
yeah, the Lakers.
That helped us out.
The Lakers and the Clippers are playing now, and the Clippers are only 1-0. This is their second game. So we'll see.
Oh, well, really?
Will be real weird.
I only play one game.
Rooting for the Lakers, but I guess I will be today. I'd like to see the Knicks get a ring. You know, if it's a summer league ring.
I don't know about that ring. You talk about that ring yesterday on the show. We don't want that ring, man. We're gonna get clowned for that ring.
I'll accept
We're
it.
building a winning culture.
There you go.
You know what, Jarrell? Is a lot of people is not with you on that one. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but he ain't lying. We are gonna get clowned for that ring. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this is the only ring they ever gonna see."
Right.
It's gonna be bad.
Y'all, I'm a Jets fan. They've been clowning us all summer until what happened the other on Sunday. So they're gonna clown no matter what.
Oh yeah, you're a Jets fan. So.
I'm indifferent. I want to.
Yes, Gerald, I'm a Jets fan too. So don't go there.
I'm sorry for y'all losses. Man.
Oh man, I'm starting to rethink my affiliation with Stafford.
So I'll bring it back to the.
Right? We got 2 Jets fans up here.
Really weird. That's Jets takes for you. But that said, so did you guys talk about the about yesterday's game, or was it just them that did the post game?
No, we
talked
talked
about it. We wasn't nothing to really talk about.
Yeah. No, we didn't. We didn't talk
What
about.
we supposed to talk about
yesterday's game.
How many points?
I did. 77.
77
league game. Yeah, we can move on. I ain't trying to talk about them.
And the Knicks rolled out like Tibbs. Same start. Like this is the regular season. They wasn't trying to give nobody else no light. We got our set rotation. You situational in summer league.
Like they don't care. We losing, about to lose, nothing. Like it's just gonna be the same program.
But didn't that game feel like a regular season game? We get out to a nice lead and then it all goes down the tubes after. I was cracking up. All of a sudden
against a team when we looked at the roster, remember we did the pregame.
Looked like they had nobody.
I was like,
but they sure showed us.
Yeah.
They were dumping all over us in the second half. I can't remember that cat's name. Waterford? I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Trenton Watford, he's pretty good though.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He played during the regular season for Portland as well down the street.
But he wasn't the guy who killed us. Trenton Watford just played his game and he had 19. It was the lefty shooting all them threes at inopportune times. It might have been. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name.
Jabari Walker, I think.
Yes, that was him.
He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good.
He was killing us.
It right before,
well, you know what? I'm glad I fell asleep on the game because I couldn't take that thing.
Yeah, I watched the rest of it this morning.
Oh yeah, I watched the whole thing because I didn't even start it because I didn't want to start it, and because I know once I start it, I'm gonna finish it. Right. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna just watch it. The next day, I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the
but let me. Right. I know it's 11:14 and. The bowling chick, if you got to leave, because sometimes this will roll on. But I just want to say this, and I think I mentioned it on Queen's Court yesterday. I think all of the hype about McBride, I think in this summer league, you able to see.
They're going to call you a Deuce hater, yeah.
He's not getting around anybody.
Listen,
he's going to manage the game.
Right.
He's going to manage the game. He's going to hit the three. He's going to pass it to the wing. But beating his man, getting in the lane, drawing the defense, kicking it out.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
You know what's crazy, though? It's not like he getting pressure from Montero. I think Deuce will be fine because Montero ain't doing nothing either.
No.
No, you're right.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I mean, people thinking of him as like a future starting point guard for the Knicks. No.
He's a backup.
No.
He's a backup.
Now he's my backup. He's a third string.
Damn.
It's a shame too. It's a shame.
Yeah.
For the rest of his career, he's third string.
So
that's it.
Hopefully, we could put this to bed. All of the McBride, like last year, he should have been in there. Put it to bed. His handle is suspect. Like I didn't even think about the handle because when you think about it, you don't have to be quick to get into the lane. Brunson is not fast, but that handle and that craftiness and that helps him be able to get into the lane. McBride, nah.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say this. and I agree with you, and I've been saying, and that's the reason why he was a second round pick, is because he couldn't break down people off the dribble and get to the rim.
Right.
It's just we saw it in the G League because the G League competition is trash. So he had free reign. But I will say one thing: the savior for Deuce is that his offensive game really isn't bad. Like if he gets to the lane and gets to the rim, he can score.
Right.
And
Right.
if he shoots from outside, he's not horrible from three. But what he really excels at that he doesn't do a lot is shoot the two. He's got a great mid-range shot. He don't
I saw
take
that at
it.
West Virginia.
So I think Deuce is going to be eventually an off guard in the league. He ain't going to be a point guard.
Right.
Somebody said we should have brought back Vildoza instead of Deuce.
And that was the thing that he was on. That was the the take on him coming out of college was that he was an undersized. Undersized shooting guard.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you a
Does
quick
even
question.
look good for Milwaukee Summer League team?
No.
What? Who? Vildoza?
Vildoza.
I haven't
He didn't
seen
look
him.
good
I don't
for
know.
us last year. I didn't think he looked all that.
Nah.
Let me tell you something. Grayson Allen was like he was like John Stark's numbers from three. And they were struggling in Milwaukee, and they still didn't go to Vildoza on the bench. So I don't know.
Right.
I saw that.
Shout out to Pete. I'll get right to you, Jarrell. Shout out to Pete. Deuce ain't that type of point guard. He's a floor general who defends first and foremost. Y'all are weird. Y'all want Deuce to get by people and try to score over 7-footer. I think what he's doing is we don't want him to score. We want him to be able to get in the lane, draw the defense, and kick it out to the shooters for more open shots.
Right.
But
you got to be able to break your man down.
But I agree with you. He's just a floor general. I mean, I don't know about, he's going to manage the game, but I agree with Ron. It's a little more than managing the game because he can shoot. He can shoot that three off the dribble. He can shoot the three off the catch. If somebody else breaks down the defense, he is able to do that. And if he does happen to get past you, and I saw it last night, I think on at least 2 occasions.
There were 2.
Because of his long wingspan, he can finish.
Right.
Okay. But the idea, like people, this is I think we could kind of, I don't say put it to, because he could still work on it, but I don't see starting point guard.
He's definitely a smart player. It's just the stuff that he just can't do. Like all that smart playing is going to keep him in the G League. Like he's not going to get on the roster. And
this season.
Right. Well, of course, this season. This season. I wanted to ask you. Remember my assessment on Keels? Like, how do y'all think about Keels?
Yeah, I agree. I think his shot looks better. I think he needs to work on his body. I like that he plays defense really good, but he's a few years years away. But as an 18-year-old, I'm okay with developing him over a 25-year-old Jefferson,
right?
Or
Jeffries.
a Hunt. Jeffries.
Yeah. Or a Hunt. Yeah, Hunt is a little older too.
Yeah,
you're right.
But yeah, I agree with your assessment. It's going to take him some time.
It's going to be a minute. Savvy,
yes.
Savvy, appreciate you gracing the channel.
Word, salute Savvy.
Yeah,
hello, folks.
Those in the chat, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to the channel. Illest new channel on the block in the Knicks community. How y'all doing?
What up,
good. We good. How are you?
Doing good.
I'm doing well. I've been very busy. That's why I've been MIA. But I always tune in whenever I get the opportunity.
Appreciate you.
And you guys, you all, ladies and gentlemen, have done a splendid job tonight. I just wanted to throw my little 2 cents in, about this Donovan Mitchell situation, right? I like Donovan Mitchell as much as the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
I also love my New York Knicks as much as the next Knicks fan.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If we pull the trigger on anything anytime soon, we are the losers. We are the fools. I already see how they're trying to approach this Donovan Mitchell trade. At first, they acted like they wanted to keep the boy.
Yeah.
Now they're saying they want to trade him.
Right.
It reminded me of Django Unchained. We don't want the ones you want to trade. We want the ones you don't want to trade.
Right.
Word.
Right.
However, my issue is if you're gonna come with this high asking price for Donovan Mitchell, no, thank you.
Well, what's high?
All right. So I heard RJ Barrett's name earlier. Hey, listen up.
That's it.
That better be the only core player that we send over there.
Well, I agree with you. If you send RJ Barrett, then you send less.
If you send RJ Barrett and some picks, not all of them, some of the picks, and maybe a rotation player, okay. But I saw somebody earlier on another episode of another channel in the Knicks community say, oh, they're going to ask for Randall, they're going to ask for RJ, they're going to ask for OB, they're going to ask for this, and that. Your left leg, your right leg, nah.
It has to be reasonable. Like you can't just, it has to be reasonable. I think if you include RJ, it's going to be less.
Okay. And so all of us done seen the Rudy Gobert trade. Okay.
But they gave up a lot. You think they gave up a lot? They gave up the picks, but those players were just kind of role players.
It was no real difference maker. Right. I'll say that.
Right.
My assumption is this: they're gonna value Donovan Mitchell higher than they value Gobert.
Yeah, that's true. You're right about that.
And we have not seen a Kevin Durant trade take place. So I believe that Donovan Mitchell should be somewhere between where Gobert is valued and lower than where Kevin Durant is valued.
Right.
But that Gobert trade set a new standard for what the KD trade has to be. So now, if we trade for Donovan Mitchell and they're asking for more than what they got in the Gobert trade, and we give them those assets to get Mitchell, I feel like that would set a new standard, a new floor for what the KD trade should demand, because there's no way we're going to trade equal assets, comparable assets to get Donovan. He's not as proven as KD is. And so I feel like the sequence of these trades is going to come to play a very important factor, because we got teams overpaying for a chance, a glimmer of hope to get something done next season. And I don't want to be one of them teams. I feel like we got continuity on our side. I feel like we have youth on our side, and we have a new point guard. We don't got to do nothing drastic right now. We could just see what we got going and let them sweat for a minute, maybe come down off that price and then make a trade.
I don't think the Knicks are going to be – I don't think the Knicks are going to – sometimes you do have to overpay a little, but I don't see the Knicks just going all in and just giving six unprotected draft picks, for example – 4 or 5 core play. I don't see the Knicks. I don't see the Knicks doing that. But you got to give to get. Don't go in there like Stafford Don with this with the school lunch and expecting that you're gonna come out with a filet mignon. That's just not happening. That's not happening.
True that. That's funny. If I had to bet, I don't think Donovan Mitchell is a Knickerbocker next season. He might go to some other team in the West. He might go to some other team in the East.
Miami is the other team.
Miami want everybody. They want KD. They want Donovan. They want everybody. Okay. And
Riley, he'll pull the trigger if he.
He'll pull the trigger because they don't draft nobody. They just sign people undrafted, trade their picks away to get star players, and that's how they operate. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame them if they do so, because I assume they got something up their sleeve for how they're gonna flesh out the rest of the roster.
Right.
But the Knicks ain't that team. The Knicks are trying to be a developmental team that can draft somebody, build them up into their full potential, and then roll out.
Savvy, we was talking about that earlier. I don't think that's the Knicks because look, we talked about this earlier. The Knicks had an opportunity to add talent to this league, to this team in the draft. They didn't do it, because they wanted to get Brunson. If you really going young, leave Mitch, sign Doran, get AJ Griffin. Now you're going young. They signed Brunson, they signed Mitch. The Knicks are into collecting assets, letting their young grow just enough to get trade value, seeing who they might want to keep, and then moving on. I do not think the Knicks are in the developing, holding, and developing phase. I think they're in the talent acquisition phase so that they can flip it.
If that is our approach, I'm with it.
Okay.
However, we need to be very mindful about the timeline along which we trade these players, who we trade, and who we receive in return. Because I feel like other teams view us as still the desperate Knicks of yesteryear. And I don't think we are those same Knicks anymore. If we've improved that one thing culturally as an organization, it's the fact that we can now develop players and turn them into something. We've broken the Charlie Ward curse, okay? And I feel like the truth lies somewhere in between your view of the Knicks and my view of the Knicks, because we're not afraid to trade players, but we're also invested in developing our young talent. And I feel like the only reason we didn't take a first round pick this year is because we knew who we wanted. We couldn't get him. And we was like, nah, we're good.
Right.
So let's see how it plays out. But one thing that I know for sure is that if these was the same old Knicks, I would expect Donovan Mitchell to be a Knick by the end of the week, and for us to be a completely robbed, stripped team in that same stroke. And I don't think that's going to be us. I think we're going to keep our essentials, and if we can make it happen, we can make it happen. If not, then I think we'll be all right. Because I think just adding Brunson makes us a much better team than we were last year.
Yeah, I think some other things have to break right too. RJ has to take the next step. Randall has to become a semblance of himself. I think some other things have to break right as well. But I do think we will. I think we will do better.
All our young players should be better.
Absolutely,
it should be. That's the goal.
Absolutely, and I think we all got Randall twisted. I think he's gonna come back next season like yo, I'm ready to hoop. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be happy.
I don't think that last season stuff is gonna drag over too much. I mean that boy from Texas. You know what I'm saying? If you know anybody from Texas, they all stay down and they bounce back quick, and normally they don't really hold grudges. Usually,
that's because they're gun laws savvy.
Texas sound like a zone.
Right.
They don't hold grudges.
Nah, because I know me a couple of through and through Texas boys, and let me tell you something.
Salute to Texas.
They could leave a job site mad as hell one day. They show up the next day, it's like nothing happened.
Okay. All
right. Y'all be good now.
All right, appreciate
I'm gonna have to
go
come
back.
back.
Easy.
Yeah, we about to roll out of here. Just getting last words.
Savvy came through and called somebody Django. That's what's up. That's an all-star panelist, man. That's how you come in and
Savvy for real, man.
That's how you come through. He said, like Django.
I just want to say my last words are support the shows, man. Support all the fire content. Nothing but Knicks crew has going for them. Dope sports talk. Uncle Fulio, the controversy, Knicks and Bruises, Sim and all his shows. And save a little for the little guys. Still Knicks fans. We in the building.
Still Knicks fans. Yeah.
The little big guys.
Yeah, the little brothers, the Mets, the little brothers.
Hey, watch it, yo. Although we lost tonight. Okay, I'll let you say it. You can say that. That's fine.
Anybody else? The bowling chick, any last words? Then Jarrell, Stafford.
No, nothing in particular. I think we covered a lot.
Okay.
Either way, I hope we get Donovan Mitchell. But if we don't, it's still let's go Knicks regardless. So
That's right.
see what this youth can do one way or the other. And I hope we win the summer league. That's about it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, welcome. I hope you come back. We here every Tuesday, 9:00. If you can,
Yes,
be sure.
yes.
Hop on.
I'll be here next Tuesday. That sounds good.
Okay. All right.
And Queen, you already know it's always been a pleasure. The show has always be fire, always be dope. Salute to Jarrell, still Nick fans. Bowling Chick was a pleasure having you on. You're very smart, you articulate with your words, and you know what you're saying.
Mhm.
So come back again when you have a chance. We'd love to have you. And peace to the chat. You already know, one love.
Right. Peace to the chat. It's 11:30.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I got to do a better job. But once we start rolling,
Steph be drying us out, man. We be in the desert out here with Steph. I can't.
That's why I be trying to get my water in, man.
I can't sing no more.
I didn't even. They dropped. I was coming on because I worked up until 8, and I got something to eat. I rushed on. I didn't even know about the Donovan. Like, I'm like, what's going on with
that hit us all.
And then I was like,
have other people on the show.
I was like, all right, I guess we'll lead with that. And that was like, what, an hour and a half? or
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's why Danny Ainge wants a lot of picks and stuff for him. Look how much time he takes to talk about him.
Right.
We talked about Grimes being the starter for like 17 minutes, yo.
Right. You're right. But Stafford, Jarrell, the Bowling Chick, Ron, I appreciate you guys, rocking with me tonight. The chat was on fire. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button, hit the like button, share. We'll be back next Tuesday. I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll be nicking it about something.
Summer League.
Yeah, Summer League, the Summer League Championship. We'll be reviewing. I try not to do slides on this show because I wanted to have a different type of feel, but I might do a slide of the ring. If we get the ring, I'll bring in a slide.
There we go.
Of the championship ring, so we can kind of inspect it.
We probably gonna be able to get one of them rings on eBay, yo.
Nah, they spent real money on them rings. The WNBA is another story.
Exactly.
Oh,
that $18 Target run.
That's a completely different show, Ron. You got to get us started.
I know, my bad. Sorry, I'll save that one.
Free Brittany Griner, yo. Free Brittany Griner.
Fact.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, free BG.
Yeah. And shout out to Sim, forever grateful, the MBK crew. Everybody rock with us tonight. We out. Be easy. I'll be on nothing but Knicks tomorrow with Tony Crowe doing the crossover. And then, of course, Queen's Court Monday, and then back here Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, appreciate you.